Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another episode of Nerd Talk. We're on episode 48, closing in on that 50th episode of Nerd Talk. I'm here with my co-host Tyler. What's going on, buddy?
I don't know, bro. It's been a day.
It's been a day. It's been a weeks. It's been the last couple weeks. Not just a day, but
no. Today has been a day.
Yeah, for sure.
Today has been a day.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. If you guys aren't following Mind of a Nerd on Instagram, go check out Mind of a Nerd on Instagram. He has really great reviews on his Instagram page. Go check him out. Today we have a lot of topics to talk about. I had to literally exclude some topics because it's so many. We're not going to talk about the Oscars because that is a whole fucking stream within itself. There was some other rumors and stuff that Tyler sent me that I had to exclude because we'll be here all day if we literally talk about every single thing that we wrote in our show notes.
Especially
so I had to exclude certain things, and we might like skim through certain topics and reviews and stuff like that as well. So, like I say, if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. If you guys enjoy videos like this, if you guys enjoy physical media, watch launch trailer reaction reviews, all that type of stuff, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. We got 8 people in the chat. Thank you guys for checking us out. We are going to talk about a lot of stuff, so grab some popcorn, grab something to drink, and sit back and listen. Starting with our first topic of the day, and we're going to talk about that Scream 6 trailer, because it's crazy that this trailer came out. We have not talked about it. It's crazy.
I feel like we did talk about it.
I feel like we talked about it, too.
We could have.
I know they released the poster. We didn't talk about the poster, but I felt like we did talk about it. If anybody in the chat, let us know we already talked about this. I'm not about to go back on my channel, look at the streams or whatever, see whether or not we talked about it. But we're just gonna give our quick thoughts. We liked the trailer. I know that we liked it. We're optimistic about it. I know I am. I was pretty hyped watching it. If you guys see my reaction, but I'm a little optimistic. Optimistic. Yeah, that's it. That's the word. Because I don't know, the dialogue seemed kind of cheesy, the way they're delivering their lines. It just feels like it's going to be an over-the-top plot. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm excited to see Ghostface in the big city. I mean, we saw him in Los Angeles, but New York is a different monster. So yeah, Tyler, just give me your thoughts.
As you guys know, I did not like Scream 6 upon rewatch. I actually hate that movie.
Scream 5.
I actually hate that movie now. It's my least favorite of them because I just feel like that movie was wasted potential and a waste of my time. The trailer looks fine. It's a fine trailer. You know, I'm just terrified they're gonna go supernatural. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, what the dialogue is really corny when they're like, "Oh, there's never been a Ghostface like me," and this Ghostface is different. What the fuck do you mean by that?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm terrified, and you know, some people have said I've been tripping. I'm not tripping. That part where he gets shot at and he fucking ducks, at fucking light speed. Okay,
he does though, and I feel like. It just feel like it's a camera cut. That's what it looks like.
Hope
it looked like they cut, and it's a bad edit in my opinion because it just looks like he disappears, and it's not supposed to look like that. I think it's just like the way they shot it is that he shot the gun and he shot with nothing there, like it's not no one there at all. Like the way they cut
I hope.
That's what
really
it looks
hope.
like. It just looked like a bad edit.
And then they're like, "Oh, we got this shrine for Ghostface." I'm like,
yeah, it's like a shrine for all the Ghostface in every single Scream movie.
I'm telling you right now, I would bet the house, the dog, the kids, the cat, the goldfish, everything. If Stu is not Ghostface, I would be absolutely floored. Because number one, Kevin Williamson made an ass out of himself. I think the same day or like right around before they were going to drop the trailer, he goes, "Oh no, Stu is dead. He's gone." That's not coincidental at all.
Right. Just to say that, just so we don't get the theories that saying he's the killer.
And then the mask is all old and dusty and shit.
Yeah.
While I love the look, I'm like, why does it look like that?
Right.
You know,
to make it look different, I guess. to give it that different look because it's just
You know,
every Ghostface has a nice clean mask. Let's go ahead and switch it up and give them a dirty looking mask. Halloween can do it. We can do it too. I guess that's the thought.
I hope that this movie, is violence, brutal. I heard this is the most violent one, but I heard that about the last one, and the last one was not that at all, in my opinion. I thought that movie was a hard PG-13 at most. So I don't know. I don't know what to go into this movie with. Do I think it's gonna be good? No.
Right.
I'd be lying if I sat here saying, yeah, I think it's gonna be good. No, I don't. I don't think they're gonna learn from the last movie. I think this movie, if they go in the directions I think they're gonna go, this movie is gonna end up being worse than the last one. And if it's actually worse than the last one, I think I actually might have a stroke.
I hope it's not as I hope it's not worse than the last one. At least give me up the same par, just a little bit better. I just feel it needs to be a little bit better. But it's all to do with the writing. The writing has to be there. I don't think the problem with the fifth movie is the direction. It's the writing. It's the story. That's what I feel. That's one of the major problems with that movie. And obviously the recycling of the same plot we've getting over and over and over again. It's like this movie. Please do something different and make the writing better. That's what it is. Make this movie different than all the other movies. Take risks and just give us a better story. Just please. That's all I want.
It's not in the directing and it's not in the acting and the characters because I like all these characters.
Right.
And the ones I didn't like, they're dead now, so I don't care.
Right.
My worry is that there are a lot of new people in this movie.
Yeah.
On that poster, there are a crap ton of new faces. And I'm like, well, it's either I'm not going to give a fuck about these people or the body count in this movie is going to be high as
big.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to say most of these people are not going to make it out this movie. That's what it is.
And I've seen some people say, oh, why is Ghostface using a gun? Dude, who cares? He has been using the same weapon for 40 years, bro.
I love it, dude. When I saw that scene, you saw my mouth jump to the drum yes, he has a fucking shotgun. Let's go.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, that kill better not be off screen. That dude better get shot in the fucking face, be blown to smithereens.
The clerk.
I better see my man's with no hat. I want to see Last of Us 2 shit. When you shoot somebody in a fucking face with a shotgun in Last of Us 2, they got no head, period.
No head, yeah.
That's the shit I want to see in this movie.
For sure.
That's what I want. I want it to be violent and bloody. That's what I want.
For sure.
I need the level of the kill in Scream 4 when this girl got gutted. That's what I want.
For sure.
I need them to do that.
For sure. But yeah, we're gonna move on. If you guys got any thoughts on the Scream 6 trailer, I feel like we already talked about it, but we already did. We're giving you our thoughts on the trailer again. It's crazy that the movie's only a month and a half away. It comes out in March, right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, we're close. We're close enough to it. February is right around the corner,
Tomorrow.
Before we know it. Yeah, right. So yeah, we'll be creeping up on it. Might see a Scream watch along, a Scream 2 watch alongs coming up before that release date. We're definitely not gonna watch Scream 2022. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. And this is a trailer that we talked about. I don't know if we reviewed this on Nerd Talking. I feel like we did.
We didn't.
Okay, yeah. But I meant to do a review of the series. I never got around to doing that too. And that is Bel-Air Season 2. Just got its official trailer. We got a teaser trailer a couple months ago where it was just the characters and a monologue from Will and stuff. But this is actual a story trailer. It's about 2 minutes and 30-some seconds. It's a pretty long trailer, showing us basically the story of what's to come in the next season, and it looks good. I mean, it looks on the same caliber as the first season. They brought most people back. We got some new faces in there too. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for Bel-Air Season 2. It's going to be on Peacock. Shout out to Tyler for letting me use his Peacock. But yeah, Tyler, let me know what you think about this trailer. I'm really excited for Bel-Air. I was pleasantly surprised with the first season, but let me know.
It looks good. I am now my worry is we went into the first season thinking, what is this? And now we're going into this season with hype. I hope that we don't leave this season saying,
should they made this season?
Yeah, but this looks good. My main concern is it looks a little messy. In terms of
it looked like there's a lot going
yeah,
on.
there's a lot going on. I mean, a lot. Normally, when you say there's a lot going on, no, there's a lot going on. You got Will going back to no, he's I think he's living with Jazz or something.
Yeah, he's living with Jazz.
You got that. Then you got stuff with Carlton. Then you got stuff with Ashley. Then you got Viv. Then you got Uncle Phil going back to work. Then they're throwing Jeffrey back in there. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But Bel-Air season 1 I thought was honestly fantastic. The cast of characters all there was great, incredible. And I'm excited for more. I just hope that they make this season worth it, because I was watching season 1 thinking out they're not going to do another season because of the way that season ended.
Yeah, it does kind of end where you could end it and then you don't have to tell no more stories, because they hit some of the big, at least one big major storylines. If you guys have never seen Fresh Prince with his father coming back, I did not think they was going to touch on that. They introduced Lisa early on. Lisa is not introduced until like season 5 of Fresh Prince. So I mean, they touched on a lot of things where I'm like, yeah, maybe they can, be done with this series after the first season. But it got so much traction and so many good reviews. And I know Will Smith was looking like, man, we gotta keep going with this. There's no way we gotta stop with this, And I mean, I'm pretty hyped for it. Like, I do agree that it does feel like a lot going on. That made me think, is there going to be more episodes? Because if there's at least 1 or 2 episodes more, I'm not going to be upset about that. Because I do agree, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot going on. Like I said, it is whether or not the pacing is right. Because that's all the thing about it. Whether or not each episode don't feel like it's rushed or feel like it's too much jumbling into one episode. I got confidence that's going to be good. Like I said, as long as all the characters come back with the same attitude as they had for the first season, we're going to be fine. And I think the writing is going to be top notch like it was in the first season. As long as they touch on certain beats that Fresh Prince did, I'm ready to see the shooting episode. I'm ready to see all that. I'm ready to see all this shit, bro. So yeah. You got any more thoughts, Tyler?
As long as it's fleshed out, I don't care how much we get. As I will always say, as long as it don't feel dragged out, you can put as many episodes in a season as you want, as long as it fits the story. Once it feels like this should have been over already, then that's when I'm like, okay, whatever. Right. But I'm hyped. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. I'm excited as well. If you guys have not checked out Bel-Air season 1, please it is streaming on Peacock. It is that. I remember when they released the first 2 episodes, right?
3.
They released the first 3 episodes. Me and my fiance binge watched all 3 back to back to back, and we looked at each other like, God damn, this show is really good. Like, we were really pleasantly surprised, like, how good it was. Because at first, if you guys didn't know, this was a thing where they released like a fake trailer for this. It wasn't even like a thing. Somebody put a trailer together, and Will Smith saw it, was like, maybe we can do that. So it was like kind of put on the back burner for a really long time. They finally did it. But it's really good, though. Definitely check it out. Season 2 will be coming out next month, in February. If you guys don't have Peacock, get Peacock to watch it. It's pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Speaking of Will Smith, I had to do it because he did it in his damn video, and I was losing my mind. I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Bad Boys for Life. Oh, shit. They can't call it Bad Boys for Life. Will Smith, you messed up, bro. He even say it in his clip. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the beginning. Will Smith announced Bad Boys for Life. He made a post on Instagram with him going to Martin Lawrence's house, basically announcing Bad Boys for Life. And I loved the video because at the end of the day, he felt like he was a fan. At the same time, he was like, oh, shit. They called it Bad Boys for Life already. We shouldn't have called it that. God damn it. But yeah, we got the announcement, guys. It would be up to Will Smith to do the announcement like he did for Bad Boys for Life. And it's pretty cool him going to Martin's house and being all hype about it. You see if you look at Martin's house, you see like the Martin show stuff on the background on his wall and stuff. It's pretty hilarious. But I watched the video like 3 times because Will Smith's hilarious on Instagram. If you guys do not follow Will Smith, definitely follow Will Smith. He is hilarious on Instagram. But yeah, it's coming, bro. Bad Boys for Life. Who knows who's coming back? Hopefully Reed is coming back because I don't want Will to be not in a relationship. Like, god damn, can fucking Mike Lowry stop being the pimp Mike Lowry and be happy in a relationship? God damn.
Well, I want all those characters back from Bad Boys
I do
for
too.
Life.
You're talking about Ammo, right? I want Ammo back too. Yeah, for sure.
You see, bro? You see, I'm telling you, we on Nerd Talk, even though we didn't do it on Nerd Talk, we do shit that has effect on the universe. I swear to God. Because we've done things so many times here, and then they'll release something relating to it. Like, I think we talked about Creed, like, in some sense, and then the next day they dropped the trailer.
Yeah.
We had to wait like a whole week.
It always happens when we think something. Well, we talk about something, and then the thing happens. So it's kind of a great thing that we didn't. Well, on Studio Media's channel, Smooth J Stu, we watched Bad Boys for Life. It was like so freaking random that he won. I think it was the anniversary though too, like 2-year anniversary or whatever. But it's so crazy that we watched that movie and then he announced Bad Boys 4 today. Like, it's so crazy that that's the way the universe works.
They're supposed to be doing it, but I don't know if they're doing it. Yeah. That's funny. The directors are coming back, which I love.
Yeah, same. You know, oh yeah, I'm very happy about that.
They probably told Will Smith, honestly, if Batgirl was still gonna be a thing, they probably wouldn't have been doing this. But since that shit got thrown out the window, they were like, well, we're not doing nothing now. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
we'll make it. You know, I'm very happy about this. Bad Boys for Life was a banger.
Yes, sir.
And bringing back the people who made the best one in the franchise to make another one.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get any complaints out of me. My thing is, it's a little thing, but my thing is, they made a lot of a big deal in the third movie of, oh, this is the last one. Like, you know, this is the last time we're doing. Yeah, one last time. You know, so I don't know what they're gonna do with this.
But this when has ever there been a franchise with, oh, this is the last one? I mean, horror movies do it all the time. I mean, how many times?
I really thought
how many times Friday the 13th ended? Like
Friday the that's when you're gonna start taking shots at Friday the 13th, really?
But I'm making an example about
a movie franchise where they have 2 movies with the word "final" in it, of which they were not the final movies.
Exactly. That you serve my point, right? When is anything really actually final? When there's money to be made, there's money to be made, and especially when these actors still can do it. I can see if these actors just aren't physically capable of doing this movie. Will Smith still can be in shape. Martin Lawrence can get in shape. You know, they got the directors to do it. And it's like, why not? I mean, it's a movie probably don't cost that much to make. I'm sure I can tell you right now, Bad Boys for Life definitely costs less than Bad Boys 2. And it's like, yeah, they definitely can do it.
I do think, now I know it sounds stupid, but I do think that Fast and Furious, they just released the poster for Fast X today, and it says the start of the end of the road or some shit. I do think that I think they're gonna end the main line of Fast and Furious with that.
So you think we're gonna get a lot of spinoffs?
Not a lot, but like, I don't know if they're gonna do Hobbs and Shaw, because I don't know what's going on with The Rock, if he actually wants to do it anymore. You know, I personally want it, because they fucking honed in the cliffhanger so hard in Hobbs and Shaw. It's like, can you follow that up somehow?
Yeah, you talking about the little voice that was talking. Yeah. We'll probably get that Hobbs and Shaw too. It won't be connected to Fast and Furious.
And I really like Hobbs and Shaw. I think that movie's really underrated, but
yeah, it's definitely better than Fast 9.
But sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Bad Boys. You know, as long as it's as good as Bad Boys for Life, I'm sold on it.
Yeah, for sure. Studio Media says, I think it's funny that people really forgot who the fuck Will Smith was. People really thought he was gonna get canceled, obviously because he slapped Chris Rock. But bounced back with a vengeance in less than a year. Yep, I think when it comes to Will Smith is too likable. That's what it is. He's so charismatic. He has a very likable personality. He's kind of like The Rock. Like The Rock Yeah, he gets shamed for all the DC stuff he does.
Oh, I don't know
But
about that.
yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Like,
The Rock is on a lot of people's hit list right now because of DC.
eh,
Not in a good way. The Will Smith
he'll
openly
bounce back.
apologized.
Yeah, you're
He
right.
and he was, really professional about it. What
For
everything we're
sure.
hearing about The Rock, we're like,
Yeah,
okay. But yeah, Bad Boys. Again, as long as it's as good as the last one, I'm okay with it.
for sure, for sure. If you guys got any thoughts on Bad Boys 4 being announced, let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, we're excited. We both enjoy Bad Boys for Life, so we're definitely looking forward to this one. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, and that is Cobra Kai season 6. The final season of Cobra Kai has been announced, and I'm very excited because they're finally ending the show, and I think 6 seasons is the right number. Really, it should be. They should have ended last season. I think the way the last season ended was pretty final. Obviously, if you guys have seen season 5, I'm not going to spoil it, but a certain character, something happens to a certain character, which I don't think should have happened. They should have just really ended it right there. But yeah, they announced season 6. And a lot of people are complaining, like, "Oh my God, they're canceling it." Like, no, they're not canceling. I think they finally know that they can't keep making this because it's going to eventually be the same thing over and over and over again. It really has been the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's just been really entertaining. That's why we accept it. So yeah, I mean, they really didn't give us anything. We got like a little trailer. I think Tyler watched it. It's just a montage. I didn't react to it because it was nothing. And I don't think we got an official date. It just say 2025, right? It didn't say a date, right? So we didn't get a date. We just know that it's coming, and it's the final season, which I think is the right move. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm in perfect agreement with this. I kind of wish that they ended it with a Netflix movie instead, to be honest with you. I don't think it depends on how many episodes this is. I don't think what's left to tell warrants 10 episodes of television. Um, I'm just terrified of what this season's going to be, if I'm going to be brutally honest,
Yeah.
because everything we came up with, and go back and watch our video we did in whenever we did that, September, October, we came up with a lot of different ways they could end this show. I don't think they're going to go with anything we said. We said that, they're going to go and do the tournament, and
That's that. Yeah, we said the last season should just be about the tournament. Like, that's what it should be about.
and this girl and Kreese are gonna team up. I want that. Are they gonna do that? I don't know. This Kreese thing really just fucked everything, dude.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did.
And I pray to God that they just like resolve that in like one episode. That way we don't have to deal with this the whole season, because I feel like that's just gonna be dumb.
Yeah, even with the Terry Silver thing, I feel like the Terry Silver thing, like, we're gonna go into getting the Cobra Kai spoilers, but when he gets arrested, I feel like he's not gonna be arrested for long. I feel like he's gonna get out, and it's gonna be the same shit we got in season 5. It's like, I'm trying to think who's the villain in the next Karate Kid. I can't remember. Because that's most people saying, like, we need to start introducing next Karate Kid stuff, or we need to get into the remake stuff if you guys want to kind of switch things up, because we've seen Kreese throughout this entire series of the shows. Like, how long can he still be the bad guy? Did Terry Silver get introduced in season 4 or 5 or whatever? 4. It's like we deal with him throughout the entire season. It's like, do we want to see him again? It's like, who knows what they're gonna do with this next season?
We still have not seen Tori's mom, by the way.
Just everyone says it's damn, what's her
Hilary
name?
Swank.
Hilary Swank, yeah. But that's telling me that she's sick, because her mom is sick.
Yeah.
So if she is her, it's kind of fucked up. You're telling me that she ain't gonna. You're not saying she should be involved, but it's like, fuck. Like,
it would explain how Tori knows karate a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I say a little bit because she mostly learned through Kreese, but I don't know. I'm happy about this. I've seen a lot of people crying tears. I'm like, listen, if you're really sitting here upset, that means that you're the issue, okay? Because TV shows more often than not don't know when to stop. Yeah. This show is knowing when to stop. And I totally forgot that they're making like a new Karate Kid thing at Sony.
Oh yeah, remember we talked about that.
And I was like, yo, like, I
It's not
mean,
gonna be connected to
yeah, I was like,
Cobra Kai.
if you guys are really that pissed about it, just wait for whatever that thing is gonna be. You'll
Yeah.
get like
Karate Kid.
3 Karate Kid movies out of that.
Yeah. Yes, even if it's successful. But
I don't know.
yeah, I'm not upset about this at all. I just want them to release like a box set with the Blu-rays. I just want Blu-rays for these movies or for these shows. That's what I want. I almost like said fucking and bought the DVDs because obviously there's no other way to own it unless you got a region free player.
They have all the DVDs at my Target.
Yeah, they got all the DVDs at the Target I went to as well. But I mean, they're $20 a piece. That's not bad, I guess. But I want this show physically. I really do. But I want it on Blu-ray or 4K. Like that, I forgot who I was talking to. It's like there's really no point of buying them if you can stream it on 4K on Netflix. Like, what's the point? You know, why buy DVD quality when you can stream it in 4K on Netflix? So I feel like it will come. You know, it depends on what Netflix wants to do. Like, it's not the first time that Netflix have released a series on physical. Clearly, we got the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things on physical. You know, so I mean, that's my only thing. As long as I can get a box set with all these seasons, that's what I want for real.
Yeah, see, they have seasons 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray, but they're, you know.
Yeah, season 1 is a Blu-ray. Season 2 and 3 is a Blu-ray, but it's region B.
No, they have all 3 seasons. They're all region B. They don't have season 4 right now. Yeah, I don't know. I wish the states would just release that because they exist.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll have to buy a region-free player in order to watch it. And I know there's other ways I can buy it. There's bootleg ways I can do it. I know, like I said, if you guys follow this I put this website in my link of every video called Collector's Heaven. They make like Blu-rays from shows that don't get Blu-ray. So I know they sell it on their website, but they charging like $40 a piece for a season. It's like,
no, these are 20. Oh, season 3 is 27, and season 1 and 2 are 18.
Right.
It's not terrible.
So, I mean, that's the one thing I want. So, yeah. Cobra Kai season 6 get announced. Are you guys excited for it? Let me know in the comment section below if you guys are excited for this. Have you guys seen the other seasons? Let me know in the comment section below. I binge watched the entire series in like fucking 2 days. I literally pulled an all-nighter watching this show. I could not stop watching because it was so fucking epic. The school fight alone is, oh my God, bro. I just want to watch that episode. That's all I want to watch. What Tori say? What she say on the mic?
I'm coming for you, bitch.
Bruh.
Oh, when Stingray comes,
bruh. Oh my God, bro! Like, I was like, you got to give it to Miguel, man. Miguel got these girls fighting over this nigga, bro. Like, oh man, show. And then he ended up getting into a coma. Spoiler: he ends up getting into a damn coma. Like, god damn.
That's why Sam ain't shit, bro.
I like Sam. She's growing on me within, this, within the fifth season.
She was alright in seasons 4 and 5, but season 3, bro. Oh my God, bro.
I mean, my thing is, I just hated that they kept like switching the relationship. Like, okay, we got Sam and Miguel, then they don't work out. Now we got, Sam and Robbie, and then we got Tori and Miguel. Now they don't work out. Now they switching, relationship. Even though it's high school, that happens. But it just felt like it's just so repetitive. It's like, okay, there's no one else they can be with, so just switch the relationships. It's like, come on, son. Bro, there's no way I'm talking back to Sam after I know you done mess with Robbie. No. That's not about to work, bro. No. So, yeah.
Sam, listen, bro. Sam can kick rocks, bro. Tori's where it's at, bro.
I agree. Is she old enough for me to say that? That's the only thing I'd be upset. I mean, is she old enough for me to say that?
She's old enough for me to say that, and I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna say she ain't old enough for me to say that. I can't say nothing, but yeah. See, it's weird when they're playing high schoolers when I know they're over high school. Like, I know the actor who played Miguel, he's definitely over 18. I know he is. He has to be. He has to be over 18. They all just look really young. I know that.
Paintless is 25, bro.
Okay, so I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm okay. I can say something then. All right, so, but yeah, uh, we've been on this topic too long. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Like I said, if you guys are excited for Cobra Kai Season 6, let us know in the comment section below. So
She's older than Miguel.
Oh, nice. How old is Miguel?
He is 19 or 18.
Okay, I knew he was over 18. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, and it's a topic I'm very excited about. You guys already know the Michael Jackson biopic, bro. We got an actor playing him, and we got a director. We got Antoine Fuqua as the director. One is coming from Lionsgate, and we got the producers from Bohemian Rhapsody with Antoine Fuqua directing. And we just found out a couple of days ago that Michael Jackson's nephew, is his name Jafar Jackson?
I didn't want to try to pronounce his name.
I'm just calling him Jafar Jackson. I don't even know which son or which brother's son is this. I don't even know. I don't know which. You got too many siblings for me to worry about that. But yeah, he's playing Michael. Yeah. And I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. He's really unknown. Like I said, I mean, we only know him as Michael Jackson's nephew,
which we figured was gonna happen.
Yeah,
they were gonna get an unknown,
which is the best part about it. I told everyone, I said, don't make it somebody we know. Make someone who, who's not in the limelight, because he's technically not in the limelight. Yeah, he's known, but he's not known to us. Yeah. He's in the family, so we have a family connection as well. Who knows how long he ever, who knows if he spent any time with his uncle or not, and he has other family members that let him know the mannerisms and how he acted and how he talked and stuff like that. So I'm all for it, man. I was talking to my coworkers. I'm like, man, as long as the script is good and the direction is good, we have no worry about him being Michael. That's all I have to say about that. So yeah, Tyler, I seen you put a post up on Instagram, but let the audience know what you think.
I had said I'm more positive with the casting choice than the directing. I'm not upset about the casting at all. I'm happy that it's someone of the lineage because it's going to be personal, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm fine with it. The directing was the one where I was like, okay.
Tudor said I'm saying it right. And it's Jermaine Jackson's son. Wow. The one, the closest brother is his son. It makes sense. Okay. Go ahead. My bad. I cut you off.
No. But yeah, when they said Anton Fuqua, I was like, Anton Fuqua? That seemed like when I heard that name. Now, granted, I know Anton Fuqua is a great director. I'm not taking anything away from him. It's just that his filmography, I know he's done a lot of music, but his filmography movie-wise doesn't really scream to me Michael Jackson biopic, because he's got, action stuff and drama, but like I don't see the director of the Magnificent Seven as Michael Jackson biopic. I don't see that. That's just like the director of Equalizer, Michael Jackson biopic. And the last movie he directed, well, no, actually it wasn't. The Guilty was okay, but like I heard Infinite was atrocious.
Yeah, with Mark Wahlberg, yeah.
And I heard that Emancipation movie with Will Smith wasn't that good either. So, yes, Anton Fuqua is a known name and he's a competent director, but is he really the best choice to do this? It feels kind of like a safe choice.
Yeah, but my thing is, who would you replace him with if you could pick a director? That's the thing. If you could replace him with somebody, who would it be?
I would probably go with the person who did Rocketman, to be honest with you, because that movie is, very unique and flashy, and it's one of my favorite biopics in recent memory. I don't love that movie, but I love that it's different from other biopics.
Yeah,
You know,
Latuda Moore almost said the one I said was F. Gary Gray, because obviously you say because he did the Strata Compton, totally different genres, but
yeah.
it is obviously a biopic. Um, but to me, is with Antoine Fuqua, that's the reason why I think you said he's the safe choice, is that he's done a lot of different things.
I know who they should replace him with. David Fincher. And you know why I'm saying David
Yeah,
Fincher.
because he directed Michael Jackson video. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think, in all seriousness, would that be that bad if David Fincher did it? I think that'd be pretty good.
No, because I think that might be a great choice because I mean, you look at movies like The Social Network. He's really good at depicting real life events. I mean, also it's just he worked with Michael Jackson, so that helps as well.
I think that would be way better.
I'm trying to think. I'm right now. I'm satisfied with everything so far. It's just obviously we know that when it comes to Michael Jackson's life, the fan base is 50-50 split on certain actions that he's done and what he's accused of. And so who knows how they're going to touch this movie, where they're going to start. Is they going to start from the Jackson 5, or they're going to start from Off the Wall? Are they going to start with Thriller? Are they going to start with Bad? Like, where are they going to start, and where do they propel the is it going to end with him really dying? Is that the way this movie is going to end, with that? Who knows, man? This
part of me is terrified this movie is going to be really safe, and I'm not. I would not.
Yeah, to me, it's like, like I said, it depends on how far you want to go. Like, are you going to make this a hard R? Are you going to make this a hard R and really go ham, or like you said, are you going to go safe and do just a Michael Jackson just doing concerts and that's it?
To me, it's either you go all the way with it or you don't do it at all. That's just me. I want to see all of it.
Yeah.
Because while I love Bohemian Rhapsody, I will admit that movie feels very safe.
It feels rushed too.
That too.
Yeah, it feels rushed.
And keep it historically accurate, please. Fucking Bohemian Rhapsody. I have AIDS. Meanwhile, this shit is so dumb, bro. I love that movie. That's the dumbest part, where he says he has AIDS way before he found out he had AIDS. I was like, what?
It's a timeline fuck up with that one, or the way they edited it or whatever. But that's this is gonna be a tricky thing. I'm happy they're doing it, because obviously most of the greats have already gotten movies. Whitney Houston just got one. Well, she had a couple of them, but she just recently got a big screen one. Elvis got one. James Brown got one. The one I think they're never going to touch is Prince. I don't think Prince is ever going to get touched when it comes to a biopic.
If this movie is really good, I could see them doing that.
Yeah, because even I just think about how private his life was. I think Michael was more out there more than Prince was. Like, Prince was a very, he was very closed in. He rarely, was out there. So who else is out there that can really tell the story of Prince's career? Unless you're going to do like a Rocket Man thing where it's just a concert or something like that,
I would love if they took a Rocket Man approach to this movie and made it where it was like a fantasy type thing. That would be great.
No, I don't want that. I kind of want it to be depicted as his life, him going through the struggles of making Thriller, him going through the struggles of being accused of all the stuff he was going through between, all the rumors, all the, tabloid stuff. I want to see all that. I want to see him.
I want to see all that. I don't think we're going to get it.
I don't think we're going to get it either. But, I mean, like I said, the one thing it depends on is obviously how long it is, and because the length is really going to give it away. If the movie is like 2 hours and 45 minutes, we're getting a lot of stuff in that movie.
Being that it's Lionsgate, I don't see this movie being longer than 2 hours.
That's what scares me too. That's what scares me as
well.
That
was the first red flag. I said, what?
Lionsgate is doing this. Like, no, this makes sense for Sony to do it because Sony owns most of his music. So I thought, okay, Sony Pictures is going to do this. No, Lionsgate is. That's weird. So I don't know. like I said, I am excited for this because I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. If you guys did not know, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I have a damn tattoo on my damn arm of his symbol on my arm, and my fiance hates it, but I don't care. So yeah, if you guys are excited for this, or if you guys are excited for the casting announcement, the directing announcement, let me know in the comment section below. I'm very excited. I am. Finally, I get my favorite artist is finally getting a biopic. And I'm satisfied with the casting. I really am. It's gonna be his breakout as acting, and hopefully he does a decent job. Hopefully Antoine Fuqua, please get him some good direction, bro. Like, because that's what we need, dude. Michael Jackson wasn't a great actor either, so I mean, just go ahead and do your shouts, bro. So yeah. You got any more thoughts on this topic, Tyler?
No, I hope for your sake it's good, because if this movie's not good and we gotta come on Nerd Talk and say it's bad, woof.
Yeah, it's worse because like I love the if you guys have never seen the Jackson 5 movie, the Jackson's American Dream, it's decent. It's like a mini series though, it's not a movie. But there was another Michael Jackson movie with Flex Alexander as Michael Jackson, and it's fucking atrocious. What the fuck were they thinking? I'm not gonna rant about that.
What's the name of that movie, bro?
I think it's called Michael Jackson Man in the Mirror, I think. It's got Flex Alexander in it as Michael Jackson, and it's fucking horrendous. And that's all I have to say.
Michael Jackson. I spelled it.
I think it's called Man. I feel like it's not called that. I feel like it's called something else, but it's not good though. It's not good at all.
Oh, I found it. It's a TV movie.
It's a TV movie. Yep.
It's got a 3.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
It's horrendous. So yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, and it's a pretty big one. The Last of Us. The Last of Us episode 2 and 3. We couldn't last week. We had a lot of complications, and I had a lot of life stuff going on around that time, so I couldn't do a nerd talk talking about episode 2. So we're gonna mesh both episodes together and talk about both of them. They're good episodes. They're really good episodes. I still think the first episode is the best episode so far. We'll see what the next episode brings. After watching the next it looks like a lot of stuff is going to happen. We're going to get the ambush episode, which hopefully they depicted right. I've been reading some stuff and watching some reviews. Like some obviously hardcore fans of the games, they're not very pleased with the way this is being depicted. There's a lot of certain characters' favorite scenes that aren't being portrayed that they want to see portrayed. For me, it was the Bill and Ellie meetup. We don't get that scene. And I love that scene. We don't get that at all, but it's cool. I mean, it's a show. They have every right to change the adaptation, which we'll talk about later within this portion. But getting into episode 2, we get, and I really just want to talk about this one scene because basically the whole episode is them walking from one point to another to get Ellie to the Capitol building. They call it the what they call it, the safe house. What they call it? They don't call it the Capitol building. It's not the Capitol building. They call it something else.
I forgot.
It's not safe house. It's something else. They call it something else. But I was like, why do they call it the Capitol building? That's what they call it in the game. But so yeah, basically they do that. They're going through Boston. And they go into the museum, and of course they finally get our first look at the clickers, and they look fucking fantastic, which they are practical, which I fucking love. And Neil Druckmann directed this episode as well, which is awesome.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know he directed any episodes.
Yeah, he directed this episode. He directed episode 2.
Good.
And it's good. It's really good. I think he did a good job directing it. I think that he knows how to show how terrifying the clickers are, even with like the sound. They nailed the sounds. Shout out to the actors playing the clickers because they fucking nailed the movements, man. Oh my god! I was watching the actor show, and they said they hire actors who who loved the game, who knew the movements of the clickers and stuff. And that scene is the best scene of the episode. My one major flaw of it is that it takes place in the daytime. It's not in the nighttime, like how the game is. But I understand because it's probably hard to shoot at night. especially for a long hour episode. It's probably easier to shoot in the daytime.
My issue with that was I liked episode 2. I didn't love it. I found it to be a little slow. And
It was a little slow.
my big, not big, but my thing that I kind of bugged me was that in a weird way it felt like nothing happened. Like things happened, but it felt like really one thing kind of happened, and then it just, it went, we got, so the episode starts with it's another scene of, I guess, right when the outbreak started, kind of. It's a great scene, and essentially she does this autopsy, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I love the opening.
Yeah.
I love the opening. And I'm kind of upset that we didn't. And like I said, I'm kind of fast forward episode 3. We don't get a flashback in episode 3. I thought each episode was going to start with a flashback from when the outbreak was going to start, from different point of views from different areas in the world.
We might get it next week. I understand why they did that for episode 3. But
we'll talk about that.
Eventually, she's just like, "Oh, bomb everything."
Yeah, I love it.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
not
even that. We get the reaction, like when she does the autopsy and she pulls out the fungus out of the mouth, and she already knows, because you see it start moving. It's moving as she's holding it, and she knows, like, holy shit. And when she, like you said, when she's sitting there, she's shaking and she's like terrified when she finds out the news that, they haven't found the person that bit that person. And they find out that 14 other people at the factory is missing. So she already know we're fucked at the end of the day. And that's why when she says, when she finds out the news, I love the way the actor plays it. She like drops, her hand is shaking like she already got infected, and she's not. And then she can barely drink her tea, and I love that reaction too. But at the end of that, she says, "I need to go be with my family," because either both ways, they're fucked. If they don't bomb the city, they're fucked. If they do bomb the city, she's fucked at the end of the day. And I love that. I love that.
Yeah. This element of them bombing places, AJ said they kind of showed it in the games. I didn't remember that at all. So this, to me, it's new.
We don't see the bombings, but it's kind of like in the show where Ellie asks about the city, like, "Oh, it's basically the way it says, oh, this is where this is where they bombed everything," and she's like, "Yeah." And then I don't think it's the same line where she says, "Oh, it worked here, but not in other places." But they do talk about how the city is fucked because they bombed they bombed everything, try to keep the infected level down. But
that was scary to me. I was like, wow, they really bombed all these places. Like, that's cool. So this was one of my issues. So we pick up, the episode like actually starts, and they skip over them going into the building.
Yeah. We don't get that. We don't get the whole them going into the buildings.
We don't get the actual first interaction with the clickers from the game in this show.
We do, but it's not in the same way. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they don't see infected. That's the first time they see the clicker in the show is where they see it in the museum. It's not in the
yes, it is. In the game, it's in the building.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the show, it's not. They changed
it. When she woke up in that building, I was like, what? Why? Yeah. Why did you do that? Because to me, that first interaction in the game, and I'm not saying this ruined it, but it kind of bummed me out. That first interaction in the game is one of the greatest intros to monsters in a game ever. Yeah. It's so creepy and terrifying.
But I think what the show did, I think they kind of did it on the same level as when they get into the museum and you just hear the sound.
Yeah, that's still great. But I was just like, damn.
I mean, not even that. You see the soldier is dead from like scratches and stuff. And Ellie is like, what did that? Because she'd never seen that before. Because the regular infected don't do what that did.
Mm-hmm.
And when Joel's reaction is, we have to be quiet. Oh, no, we have to be silent. Not quiet, silent, and we already know the clickers are coming, and that whole, like I said, that's why this is the best part of the episode. And I love the way the actors portray it, and you could tell that what her name,
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey, you can tell she's terrified. She's definitely terrified in this scene. If it was me, I would kind of not allow, unless it's hard because they played the game. If you ever played the game, but I wouldn't let the actors see the way the clickers look. I would make it a surprise for them. Like, this is how they look.
Yo. Oh my god, bro. Bro, I can't imagine seeing that shit for the first time.
Yeah, like that's how I would be. If I was a director, I would do that exact way. It's like, you guys don't go into the makeup chair to see this stuff done. You guys aren't gonna see this on camera for the first time, because I need to see that reaction. And I think their reactions are pretty good, man.
I wouldn't sleep for fucking days if that fucking thing came at me and I wouldn't know what it looked like, bro. Especially with how real it looks.
Yeah, it looks really good, man. And I love that they kind of, like I said, they do the same thing in the game. It takes a long time to kill it. Like, you can't just you don't just shoot it once. You have to keep shooting it. And I think they're depicted very well from the game.
And I loved this whole scene where they first find them is incredible. The practical effects are top notch, and I love how and this when someone posted this
production design, I mean,
when someone posted this, I said, yo, I can't believe this. So apparently there's like a test trailer for The Last of Us that it's not real gameplay footage. It's, I guess, a concept trailer, kind of like the teaser trailer for Arkham Knight is not the actual game.
Right.
And the scene in the show where he's loading the gun silently, that's the test footage that they never used.
Oh, wow.
Somebody posted it. The test footage is Ellie's next to him, and he's like, "Oh, like, be quiet," and he's loading the gun.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that before. Yeah, hell yeah.
And I saw that. I said, "Oh my fucking god!" They actually
it's kind of like that. It's kind of like cinematic gameplay.
Yeah,
kind of like a cinematic trailer.
And I was like, "Yo, they really took and replicated this and put it in the show." I can't believe that. That shot where he loads the gun and he shines the light and it's right there. I was like,
oh my god, yes, bro. I mean, not even that. I mean, I'm going a little bit farther in the episode, but when they get out of the building and you see this, everyone's been putting the scene side by side, is where she looks at the building. It was like, oh man, you can't deny that view. Or Joel says, "Is this everything you hope for?" And she was like, "Yeah, I mean, you can't deny that view." It's like, oh my god, they nailed it. They nailed that scene. They nailed it.
It's not jumping ahead. That happens after what I just talked about.
Yeah.
That. Oh my god. So then they go and they're walking.
We didn't talk about this though. What do you think about the way they got the fungus thing? The way that it's connected with it's in the ground, and they said if you like step on like one little thing of fungus, it like alerts a whole bunch.
Well, that's the replacement for the spores. That's what I was, I think it's great, especially with what happened at the end of this episode. I was like, that's really cool, So we get to the museum, and Tess reveals that she got bit, and this is a big change from the game, but I was fine with it. Instead of the fireflies coming, what happens to alert them? See, they kill
they kill an infected, and the infected the fungus, the infected touch the ground, and the fungus gets into the ground, and it's like kind of like a sonar signal, and it signals. There was like a group of infected that were like stuck to the ground and feeding on this fungus. And they get alerted, and they all start running towards where they're at.
I was like,
Tess explains that to Ellie earlier in the episode, just to let her know, it's in the ground. So all you can do is step on something, and it might alert a whole bunch of infected. They're going to know exactly where you at, which is scary. And I love Neil Druckmann even said, man, that's a great video game tactic. Just imagine playing a mode in The Last of Us, and you got to watch where you step, or the infected is going to get you. Little things like that. It's pretty dope.
I'll say that if they do make Last of Us 3, that should definitely be a thing they put in there.
They said they did. Naughty Dog said they might not be doing Last of Us 3. At least Neil Druckmann said they have no plans for
Mm,
Last of Us 3. I don't know. Money talks and bullshit watch. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah.
I don't know
But
what they're doing with that. But so Tess sacrifices herself. We get this weird scene that everyone was obliterating on this. I was like, really?
talking about the
Like,
kiss, right?
yes, it is
Fungus
weird,
kiss.
but I didn't view it as, oh, she's kissing the thing. I viewed it as she's like frightened and terrified. She
I
doesn't know
mean,
what to do.
not even that. She's becoming the fungus.
And the way you become and the way the infected infect people is, it's really stupid, but it goes through the mouth. That's how
Right.
we
Yeah.
clearly saw that's how they infect them. So why
Right.
are you sitting here bitching and complaining? Oh, she kissed the infected. No, she didn't. The infected was infecting her. Like,
Yeah.
are you
Right.
dumb?
Right. Right.
Like, why are you gonna sit here and say that, it's a dumb moment? It's not a dumb moment. It's the logic of the show.
Yeah.
Yes, it looked a little bit silly, but that's how the show works.
And also, they had to change it because it doesn't make sense for Fedra to show up in this moment in this show. It doesn't make sense. Why would Fedra be out this far into the biozone? Like they wouldn't do that. And it's weird when when I'm playing the game, it's um, like how why would Fedra leave after they killed all the fireflies? Why would they leave and come back to that area? Why? They would already be there when Tess and them shows up because clearly they was ambushed by Fedra. If you play the game, they're all dead. Like all the fireflies are dead. Why would they leave and come back to that area? Like it doesn't really make sense. They only do it obviously because of video game tactic. They want you to kill humans. They want you to kill people. Or they know you get a new gun in that mode. So that's what they want you to use the gun for that. But in the show, I like the way the show does it. To me, it's like I feel like in the game, Tess has a lot more emotion than the actor does. When she's talking about, oh, Ellie is the one, you get her to where she needs to be and stuff like that. That's my one little nitpick too. Is I felt like the actress who was playing Tess, she didn't really have that emotion. She felt kind of, dull a little bit, with her line delivery. But overall, I do like the actress who played Tess. I think she did a good job. So yeah, you got any more thoughts on episode 2?
No, it was like I said, it was a short, sweet, to the point episode. I feel like the sole purpose of this episode was to kind of get rid of Tess and be like, okay, now it's the game, it's them two.
Right.
So I'm not mad about that, especially with what we're going to talk about next.
Right. So let's go ahead and get into episode 3. And this is the Bill episode, which we already knew the Bill episode was coming. And they kind of do a different take on this character, guys. If you guys played the game, Bill, well, for one, Joel and Ellie, they get ambushed and Bill shows up. That's what happens in the game. And you got to go through all these obstacles, killing all these infected and stuff. They don't do that in this show. In this show, they focus on Bill as a character and him going throughout all these years in the apocalypse. And we see him meet Frank, which we don't see Frank in the game. Frank is dead in the game. And also in the game, it feels like they don't have a physical relationship. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I thought, because the way Frank just ups and leaves in the game, like he just up and left. And you hear that Bill talk about he had a partner, and I feel like they left off on bad notes, bad notes, because he talks about having a partner, he had to let him go, or blah blah stuff like that. But in the show, they totally change everything up, man. And we knew they were gonna do it. We talked about this too, I think, saying they're gonna go all in on Bill. We knew it was gonna come, that they were gonna do the, sorry to say everybody, yeah, Bill is gay, yo. And in the game it's hinted that he is.
It is?
Yeah, because he has guy magazines, like sexy guy magazines. That's what Ellie has in the back of the truck. She's like, oh my God, like, why do you guys walk around with this thing, That's a guy's dirty magazine.
This scene is funny.
Two, he's very upset when Frank is dead.
Well,
He's
I mean,
very
I
upset.
thought the reason that he was upset was just because he knew him. I didn't think it was
Nah,
something like that.
it was. I mean, if you like I say, if you play throughout the game, there's certain things. If you guys walk around this place and stuff, you can tell it's something there. It's something there. He has feelings for Frank for sure, for sure. And he's just a hard ass throughout the entire time, so you don't really get that. But there's like little hints and stuff to let us know that yeah, he might be on the DL. Not in this show. They're truly going in, and I don't mind it, man. I don't at all. I actually really enjoy the moments between Frank and Bill. I think it's I have no problem with it. My thing is that I felt like the episode was pretty slow a little bit. Um, there was no infected that much in this episode.
There was no infected.
There was one. I mean, one got killed by the trap, and then Ellie killed one in the opening, but it was trapped too. It was underneath debris. So we got two infected, but it wasn't that much. And maybe that's not what this episode was about. It was about the relationship between the two characters, and I felt like they did a good job with that. So yeah, go ahead. I feel like I'm rambling. Go ahead, Tyler.
I truly feel like this was one of the greatest episodes of television I've ever watched. It's very rare for me where I sit there and watch something in silence. I was watching this with Kevin. I think we were silent about 80% of this episode because it was honestly beautiful. It was just an incredible episode, and I've seen people say I don't really, not that they don't like the episode, but it bummed them out that they changed so much from the game. And I get where you're coming from. Yes, Ellie and Bill are never going to interact, and we don't get the bloater scene because in this part of the game, this is where we get the bloater for the first time.
Yep.
First of all, I think they're saving the bloater for later in the season because we all know that is a big what the fuck moment.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about this at all because it's the rule of an adaptation.
Yeah.
If you're going to change something, make it better.
Also, if you guys don't watch the end, so at the end of the episode they do like an inside the episode. They talked about that. They said, okay, we could deviate from the game, like just like you said, deviate, and if it works for the show, do it. And I think in this moment it did, because like you said, it's not just about the infected. It's just not about us going around killing zombies. It's about the relationships. It's about people dealing with being in the zombie apocalypse or the infected apocalypse. We first meet Bill and he's a fucking subclusive. He don't fuck with people. He immediately pointed a gun at people. He immediately had a gun out on Joel and Tess when he first met them. Frank is the one that is more the happy-go-lucky guy that wants to introduce people and stuff like that. And I enjoyed all of that stuff for sure. Go ahead, I cut you off.
This episode was incredible. So first of all, episode starts immediately with an intro. Rule number 1 of television: if the episode immediately starts off with an intro, that tells you the episode is going to be a banger, because that tells you the creators are not wanting to waste any more time than they have, and they want to get straight to the point. And this episode was an hour and 15 minutes long once again. I think that is the perfect length for this show. I've heard that the episodes are not as long moving forward. I'm disappointed about that because episode 2 was way shorter, and my biggest complaint is that it feels kind of rushed. Yeah. I don't mind the slow pace of this show because it is interesting. As long as it's interesting, I don't give a fuck how slow it is. In the case of this episode was slow, but it was interesting. So I'm not going to sit there and complain about that. So this episode starts and Bill is hiding, I guess, under his house or something, or somebody's house. And no, it's not. They start with Joel and Ellie. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we do. That's the thing that people complain too, that Joel and Ellie, that there's not that much in this episode. But we got fucking 4, 5, 6 more episodes with them in it. So that people don't complain about that.
So Joel and Ellie, they're walking after the whole Tess incident, and they have banter going back and forth, and they're hilarious. I love their chemistry.
I love the react. The we get the actual line. He like 2 things. You don't talk about Tess ever. 2, you do what I say when I say. Repeat it. Whatever you say goes. Like, oh, that's straight from the game, bro.
I love that they go into this store and they have a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade. I love that. Man, she's just hyping up Melina. And
that was kind of like in the game too, because if you play the game, she's hyping over this game. She's hyping over like an arcade game. Like, oh my god, I want to play this. You know,
I wish they would have fucking did that when they find the PS3 in Last of Us 2. Yeah. Be like, oh my god, do you know how cool this system was? Oh my god, the games that came up with this.
Ellie wouldn't know what that is.
I don't know. Maybe what's her face could have.
Because even if so, it's 2003, it would be a PS2. If Ellie saw a PS2, she wouldn't know what it is because she wasn't alive. It's 20 years later.
Maybe you could have had Joel do it. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, Joel would have been the right person to do it for sure.
So they go to this place and Joel says, "Oh, I stashed some things here, whatever." So she goes downstairs or in this like hole, and she finds an infected, and she's just kind of messing with it. Which, to be honest, I probably would have did the same thing too. I'm like, all right, you're stuck. You're not coming out. All right.
Yeah, right. You can't move.
You know. Yeah. So she fucking cuts it open, and it's got like this fuzz under it, and I'm like, ooh. It's kind of
like when the doctor cuts open the patient. It's like a white like cotton shit. Like it's not. It's the fungus. It's the fungus taking over the body.
Yeah, because it doesn't bleed. It's just like I was like, it's gross. Yeah. And then she's like, "All right, I'm bored with you," and just stabs the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
you know, I was like, "Oh, at least she covered her tracks." I mean, shit. Right. So, after they do that, they go and they keep walking, and they find this plane that crashed. And she tells Joel, she's like, "Oh, yeah, that was the first screenshot we saw. It leaked." And we were like, yo. And I remember when I saw it, I was like, hey, that's the leaked screenshot. And she's talking about like, oh, wow, like airplanes seem so cool. And Joel's like, they're not cool. She's like, what do you mean? You got to go up in the sky.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that's like the first hints at the space thing from
part 2.
Part 2. And people were like, oh man, if they do that scene, that's gonna be so good.
Yes.
So then we get a great scene where Joel's like, oh, don't go too far because there's something I don't want you to see. Ellie's like, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. And they stumble across like these skulls and bones and shit.
Another thing that's from the game, because there's a part in the game where you walk in, you see a whole bunch of burned bodies. And like howl of fire. And she's like, oh, I bet they wasn't sick. And Joel says, no, they weren't sick. People do this just to, kind of, just to do it.
And then here, Joel was like, sometimes they didn't even bother checking if they were sick or not. They just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's great. And that's the first hint of Joel kind of caring for Ellie when he was like, I don't want you to see that.
Yeah.
I really like that. So I think this is when they transition to Bill.
Yeah, because then we get, so they show like this skull or this baby thing, and then we transition to the woman holding the baby, and that's where we get to Bill, because Bill is watching on the camera all the stuff that's happening, and he's underground, and I think it's pretty dope. And then we get this. I think after that he goes up, everyone is gone. And we get to see him opening the mask like he does in the game. People was doing that side by side too, where he takes off the mask. And I guess the first thing he does is go to Home Depot. Is that the first thing he do?
Well, no, he goes and he basically loots everything. He goes to the gas station, gets all the gas humanly possible. Yeah. He goes and gets, paint and all this shit. Mm-hmm. And my man's just living it up. I was like, shit, Smart. If I was you, I would do that too. My man's Smart. even if the house he was in went to shit, he still got like 5 other ones. My man's lucked out, bro. He was able to settle down in a white neighborhood, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the house that he was in, it's like, bro,
Yeah,
if you could be in the zombie apocalypse, why not go to the biggest house on the block? Why
that
not?
like in
That's what I
zombie
would do.
in Double Tap, they go to the White House.
Yeah, why not? Shit. I mean, I live right down the street from on this neighborhood, bro. Like the houses there are so big. I'm definitely going to one of them motherfuckers, bro. For sure. It's the end of the world. Who gives a fuck? So yeah.
So I think he builds the fence, and
Mhm.
then I think I don't remember if it jumps time or not before he meets Frank, or he
I think
just
it does. I think it jumps time.
yeah, it does because he had to build the fence.
Yeah, it
So
goes back like 4 years. Say 4 years later or something like that. It
so
goes
we
like
get a time jump, and
we get a lot of time jumps in this
yeah, we
in this
do,
episode. Like goodness gracious,
and
it was like 2003. Then it jumped to 2007. Like
yeah, it was a lot. So we get he hears it on the camera like, oh, someone fell in a hole, and he's like, oh Jesus Christ. So he comes up to this hole, and it's Frank by himself. He's like, oh, I'm alone, or I was with
he
like
was with
somebody.
people and they all didn't make it.
And Frank is like, Bill is like, oh, Boston is that way, just keep walking. And he's like, oh, like, could you give me food or something? He's like, bro, if I give you food, you're gonna tell everybody in their mother I gave you food, and then they're all gonna be here.
Yeah, they all gotta come.
Get the fuck out of my face. Even though, I mean, even if that did happen, he's got the fence, and it wasn't coming down no time soon. So,
right.
But I get it. So he's like, all right, come on. And I want to know where the fuck Bill got all that meat from, bro. My man's was
He was
pimping in that bitch.
He looted, bro. Probably looted all the damn fucking grocery stores that's in the area. You know, they probably had like a mini mart that sold that stuff. You know, he probably
Bro, I was
all that shit, bro.
I was thinking of you watching that episode. I know they was busting down some steak. I was like, yo, Alex gonna be like, bro.
Yeah.
So they have their first meal together, and Frank is like, oh man, that's so good. And he sees the piano. He's like, oh, I'll play it and I'll leave immediately.
Right.
And he starts playing, like, I guess this song that meant a lot to Bill. And he's like, oh, shut up. And he takes it as like you're bad. He's like, oh, well, you think you're so good, go ahead.
And then Bill started playing. He's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good.
And I forgot what led to them kissing. I forgot
what it was he asked him who was the girl, and he said there is no girl. And he's like, oh, I know. And that's when they make out. Because he knows that, oh, yeah, I know that you're gay because I am too. And they start making out, and he tells them to go take a shower. He said, go take a shower. It's like, oh, we know what's about to happen. You know, and we already know they get down. Then this is where we get the next time jump, because it immediately happens so fast. It's like they were in the bed, and it's like, boom, they're walking out. I'm like, oh, what the fuck just happened?
I want to say something about, so when they have sex or whatever, he was very upfront about it, and he was like, oh, I'm just gonna do whatever. I think here he knew he was sick, and he didn't want to tell him.
Yeah, you're talking about Frank, right?
Yeah. I think he knew something was wrong with him, and that's why he was so open about this.
Yeah.
And he wasn't, hesitant. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened.
Did they ever say what he had? Did he have cancer? That's my guess.
What he just said he was sick. I don't know.
That's my guess. My guess is I thought it was cancer.
My thing with that was, and I know we're jumping ahead, but my thing with that was, like, how would you know you had cancer in this world? There's no hospitals, there's no doctors.
And like I said, unless he already had it before the apocalypse happened, that could be it too. He probably already had it, but it was kind of one of those things where who knows how long it's gonna last. I mean, they could tell you have a certain amount of time to live, and then obviously you live longer than you're supposed to. But I mean, I can see that you thinking that. That's why he was so open to be accepting and confide in Bill. But I said, so we get another time jump in is 2007, and Bill's like, Frank is like, I want to fucking invite people over. I want to make this town look like it's something that people can come see. And Bill's like, no, we're not doing that. There's no friends. There's no people. And Frank was like, I've already been talking to somebody on the radio, and
That scene was funny.
we find out it's Tess. Tess and
Tess and
Joel
Joel. I was
come
like,
down.
oh, I was like, that's a cool way to link them up. That's cool.
It's a cool way to bring Tess back too. I mean, it was nice seeing her, and she looked, nice and healthy and young. I'm like, oh yeah, that's dope.
I loved how Bill had a gun at the
Yeah.
table, and Joel's talking to him. He's like, "Oh, get that fucking gun out of my face."
Yeah,
That was funny. And it was kind of cool seeing Joel. Like he's not as damaged as he is when we see him when the show first starts, but
right.
he's kind of damaged, kind of not.
Yeah. Think about it. It's only been at this time in the flashback. It's only been about 4 or 5 years since the outbreak. And yeah, probably in this world 4 or 5 years felt like a long time, but it really is not. I mean, time flies. Especially now we're older. Time flies like shit. It felt like it was just 2019. It felt like we just saw Endgame, but like shit, it's 2023. So yeah. I mean, I like the way Joel interacted with Bill in the scene for sure.
And they make an agreement like, oh, we'll like trade or whatever. I was like, that's nice. So
we talk about the fact that Joel alerted Bill, like, man, it's cool that you got. Well, first he talked about his fence. Was like, I could trade you stuff to make a better fence. Your fence is coming apart with the next couple of years. It's going to be done. Then he tells him that, oh, you have a nice place here, but it's not going to be just infected. You're going to worry about. You got to worry about raiders and
then we get
trying to take
scene.
your shit. Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a jump or not. I
feel like it's not a jump. I feel like this is still in the same time frame.
So people try and raid the town, and this scene was kind of hilarious in parts and kind of serious.
I felt like it was so rushed though. I felt like if you watch the trailer, like more is happening, but it's not. Like we only get the one scene with the people coming in, they get destroyed by the fence, and then Bill is out there shooting, and then he gets shot, and they go in the house. That's it. So I felt like I wanted more with that part. I loved everything that was happening, but I just wanted more.
Yeah, I really like that scene, and I just love how foolproof that fence is.
Yeah,
my man's burning everybody, electrocuting them. Like,
even
damn.
Bill says, like, man, call Joe. The fence can get rid of the rest of them, but call him, bro. Like, call him. I ain't gonna lie. I thought this was the part where we got the radio call. Because you hear Tess and what's his name talk about, oh, we should have codes, decades, and that's where the codes come from. I thought that this was the scene. Like, okay, at the end of episode 1, we hear the song, and I thought this was that moment, but it's not.
So I think they do a jump. I think definitely after this they did a jump.
Yeah, we do another 10-year jump.
And this is when they're running, right? They're running.
Yeah, yep. And he's like, "Oh, I got something to show you," and it's the Strawberry Garden.
This scene.
Yes, this is a nice scene.
I lost it.
It's a beautiful scene. It's a beautiful scene, man. You see seeing two grown men being happy that they're growing strawberries. It's like
in the apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Like, oh man. I love that he like, oh, I traded one of your guns for the season. He's like, which gun? It's like one of the small ones. Don't worry about that. Which is probably not a small gun. Yes. It's probably a big gun.
Kevin was like, oh, you probably traded an RPG for it.
Yeah, for sure. But you gotta think about it, they got strawberries, man. I just bought my fiance some chocolate covered strawberries and they fucking banged. This whole scene, was nice, man. And it's funny when they start kissing. He's like, oh no, not the strawberries. Like, oh yeah, you're right. It's like, oh yeah, you're right.
That scene was just beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you got the fucking dickheads that are review bombing it, but it's not as bad as some of the other instances where this subject has been covered, and I'm happy about that. It is so good, man. That the acting in this episode is absolutely phenomenal.
The acting is stellar. Like, and a lot of people were iffy about the actor who was playing Bill. Like, oh, why they got him playing Bill? It's like
Ron Swanson.
Bro, he look like I have no problem with it. He like the mannerisms, the way he talks, his acting, like everything. It felt like he was the character. But the only thing they didn't do was the way Bill's portrayed in the game. Like, he's such a hard ass, so paranoid and stuff like that. we get instances of that, but the difference is we see him being next to Frank the whole time. So he's not that way because Frank doesn't make him that way. Like I love he got that moment. It was like, you were I felt like you were supposed to be here. Like I wasn't afraid before I met you. Now he's afraid because he has him. He has him to worry about. He had nothing to worry about before he met Frank. And I loved all that stuff for sure.
So I think the next scene we get is the one where he tells him he's sick or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically tells him, listen, tonight we're gonna have the best night of our lives, and I'm gonna die in your arms. And
Yeah,
I
this
was
is
like,
this is another this is the net. This is at this time we're present day basically. Right? We jumped to present
yeah.
day. Jump to present day. Yeah,
So they
they're old as
go.
fuck.
They go. Yeah. They're
Once I seen how old they were, I said we're not getting this stuff in the game. I said no, we're not getting. I checked the time when they were eating dinner, and I said no, we're not getting. We're not gonna get the bloater. We're not gonna get the school scene. We're not gonna get none of that.
I'm not as bummed as people are about it, but I am kind of bummed we didn't get the school stuff because
Yeah.
that stuff is amazing.
Awesome. It's awesome.
But so they go and they get all dressed up. They get married.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I was like, oh my god, bro. And they have a dinner, and I loved. Oh my god, it's the little things, bro. When he presents him the wine, and he just laughs because that's how he acted when they first met.
Yeah.
And he tells him, "Crush my pills and
put it in my drink.
Put in the wine."
Mm-hmm.
And when he poured the pills in the glass and he drank it, I said he did something. He did something. And what I thought was going to happen was they were both going to take the pills and it was going to kill Frank but not kill Bill. That's what I thought was going to happen. And
yeah, he thought Bill was going to make it out some way.
And they were going to make it that he has to live with that grief. That did not happen.
Nope. They both end up dying.
Yeah.
They both die. Like, wow. I did not expect that.
I was like, yo, that just, oh my God. Like, it's so sad. Like, it just really is. So then we catch up with Joel and Ellie, and surprised Joel still knows the passcode to that thing.
I feel like he hasn't been there in a long time.
Yeah, so they get to the house, and Ellie finds the note, and Joel's reaction to hearing this, I was like, oh, fuck. Because even though he wasn't close with Bill, I feel like he was, other than Sarah, he was like the last person that he knew.
Right.
And was kind of close to.
Yeah.
Now he has nobody.
Yeah.
And that's going to be Ellie eventually. But as of right now, he has nobody. And he was just like, damn.
Yeah, he has that moment where he walks outside. And to me, that felt so real because that's what any human being would do. They need a moment alone when they finds out that they lost a friend. Because even though in the note he says, "Oh, I never liked you, but we're almost friends." I do believe that they were friends. The fact that they basically committed suicide. They died. And to me, I feel like to change things, to diverse for something else, this was the right move. Because of course we could have got an action-packed thing where they do all the stuff they do in the game, but I was thinking if we wanted that, we could just play the fucking game. And really interact with the characters and be the characters. This is different when we're watching it, going through another actor playing it. It's a totally different thing. And this was the right move.
Yeah. And them dying together is honestly, it's tragically beautiful. They wanted to die happy and together. They didn't want to die to the misery that the world has become. They didn't want to get ripped apart by clickers or infected. It's just, it was beautiful. It was beautiful and sad. So they're like, oh, the car is here, we're charging the battery or whatever. and we're gonna get dressed and shower and head out. I love how Ellie says, "Oh, you need to shower because Jesus Christ,
Right.
you smell."
I mean, I love that she's happy that she get to take a shower. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God, they got hot water. Like, I'm about to take a shower. And we get the clothes.
The shirt. I knew the shirt had some significance. I was looking at I was looking at the shirt. I was like, it's got to be the shirt from the game. And I saw people
even
posting.
Joe got like the flannel. Like this, it's in the game. It's a little faded, but it's this flannel that he wears.
Yeah.
So
and then we get the scene from the game where, I thought this scene was gonna be was where she finds out about Sarah. That's what I thought this scene was gonna be, and it wasn't. That scene is gonna fuck me up when we get that.
Yeah.
I thought but we get the scene where he's like, listen,
after we leave Tommy's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, listen, don't bring up Tess ever.
Yeah.
And you do what I say. And the dialogue is word for word from the game.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, I loved every moment of that. Yo, I was so high. I'm like, yes, it's like as a fan, it's like little things like that work. You don't need to do everything from the game, but just little nuances or dialogue works for me.
Yeah, I'm still kind of a little bummed out that we haven't seen them picking up garbage off the floor, like the cloths and the bottles and stuff. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for them to pick up a fucking bottle.
Bottle and throw a bottle, for sound. Yeah, it's coming. It's gonna come. That's gonna come, bro. It's definitely gonna come to show. They got to do it for a little fact.
And they go in the car and they head off, and then we got the preview for next week, and that's when the ambush happens. And I'm assuming
played the game. You guys know what the ambush is.
And I'm assuming that after next week, they're gonna be at Tommy's.
Yes, because I think if they do this whole entire segment in this scene, this is where we meet Henry and Sam, which I don't think so. I think this episode we're gonna end this episode meeting Henry and Sam. I don't think we're gonna meet them in this episode. I don't think. I could be wrong because they could do this whole segment in this episode, which I think. You think they can really do that? Do you think they can compile all the stuff that happens in that segment in this one episode? I don't think we're not going into the sewers. We're not doing all that stuff. We're definitely not doing all that.
I could see them meeting Henry and Sam at the end of this episode.
You got to think about what they go through with Henry and Sam in the game. Like we go through the sewers, they go through the neighborhood, like all that stuff. Like, obviously, they're going to trim that down. We're not going to do every single moment. But, yeah. Next episode look like it's going to be a banger, though. I mean, it looked like we're going to have a lot more action than we had in the first 2 episodes. I'm just excited the way they're going to depict the ambush. I mean, it looks like it is word for word. Like, she's like, we're going to help him? Like, I was ready for him to say, like, he ain't even hurt. And, like, I'm ready for him to say that. So, yeah.
That's pretty much it, though. This episode was incredible. Yeah, I don't even see them topping it.
Mista said the loot they looted the business. That's the whole scene was looting.
I mean, that's not what I mean, though. I feel what I mean. If you played the game, I want to see them
talking about the tools to craft. That's what he's saying. Yes. But yeah, that's basically the episode. If you guys are enjoying the series, let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, I know there's a lot of hardcore fans that's not really enjoying the episode because it's not really, some of the moments, like people are upset about the like I said, Bill not mean Ellie. There's another scene that some people aren't satisfied with. The reveal of the bite. Most people aren't happy about that scene either. But to me, it's like it's a show at the end of the day, and it's an adaptation. They're allowed to, do different things. I mean, when you got the writer itself, Neil Druckmann is okay with things going on. Everything should be fine. We've got a special guest joining us right now as we're ending talking about The Last of Us. And that is AJ Reacts 2.
I was literally about to text you.
What's going on?
Y'all about to end?
No.
Yeah, we just ended talking about The Last of Us. We're about to move on to our next topic.
I was about to text you we're about to talk about DC. Where you at, bro?
Oh, so this was the first topic, the Last of Us.
We did Last of Us first. Now we're about to move on to DC.
Okay, quick.
Did you want to say something about Last of Us?
Yeah, quick thoughts on Last of Us. First and foremost, this is a phenomenal show. Yes. I love it. I love it so much. The
Very
second
story-driven.
episode, I gave a 4 out of 5. There were a few nitpicks, but still a great episode. 3 was like a masterpiece, bro. I I loved episode 3. Oh, it was emotional, sentimental, heartfelt, heart wrenching. It was
The
fantastic.
acting, bro.
I'll
The
never
The
look
acting.
at
acting.
I'll never look at strawberries the same again.
Right.
Wait
But
till you
yeah,
get a girl
those are my
mentality, you will.
brief thoughts on the episodes.
So yeah, cool. Like I said, if you guys are enjoying the episode or enjoying this series so far, let me know in the comment section below. Have you guys ever played the game? Let me know in the comment section below. Because to me, The Last of Us is one of the greatest games ever made. So yeah.
It's my favorite of all time.
My fiance is calling me, so give me a second.
Oh. Bro. This DC stuff. Ay.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it is. It's been a day.
We talked about Michael Jackson biopic. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What? Real quick. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's cool that they got his nephew to play him. I guess younger him. I don't know if they're gonna dive into the older older years of Michael Jackson, but that's cool that they got his nephew to play him. I don't know. Has he acted in anything else, or is this his first acting? Yeah. See, I don't know how well he's gonna do, but he resembles him. So
I had brought up to Alex, what if they had gotten David Fincher to direct it instead of Antoine Fuqua, because he directed the music videos for him and he had worked with him before. I can't believe it took me that long to think of that.
yeah, I could see that. I can see David Fincher doing it, but like Antoine, we didn't. He hasn't done anything like music oriented except the music videos, because Antoine has done music videos as well.
He has, but I'm just looking at like his movies as of late. There hasn't really been anything that was like, oh wow, well, all right. I think the last thing he made that most people really liked was Equalizer 2.
Yeah, kind of same with Fincher, right? Or people really liked Mank like that?
Not Mank, but that's really like the only movie I know that people don't like from him.
That's his latest one.
Because he did Mindhunter. People love Mindhunter.
Oh yeah, they did really like Mindhunter, but that's nothing like this.
Yeah, well, yeah. Then Gone Girl, people really like Gone Girl.
Yeah, Gone Girl is
and
great.
then people really like Dragon Tattoo. People love Social Network.
It's good. Yeah,
Zodiac.
It's a great movie.
People really like Zodiac.
Got a really good track record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see Fincher doing it. I could see him doing it, but
I don't know. I'm very iffy on the Michael Jackson thing. It's a movie I'm very nervous for, because I feel like they could just play this safe and make it where it's just not really the movie that we want it to be. I want it to dive into everything, and just I don't know.
It could be kind of cookie cutter, play it safe type of thing. I could definitely see it going that way, but my thoughts on biopics right now, and I don't know if the audience does, but I'm kind of like tired of them right now. I kind of want to take a break from them right now, because they all kind of feel the same and very formulaic and doesn't really bring a lot new to the table. But as far as Michael Jackson, he is one of the best performers and artists out there. And rest in peace, but he was the best. So I'm into it, but also kind of tired of biopics.
Yeah,
kind of torn.
The Last of Us, man. We were talking about what's next week's episode is gonna be. We would think like
Mhm.
they're gonna end with them meeting Henry and Sam.
I can see that for sure. I can see that for
Because
sure.
we don't know
That's
what
very close.
we don't know what this week's episode is gonna be. We just all we know is that they're gonna do the ambush part. We don't know if they're gonna do anything else. That's what I'm wondering too. I'm like, what do you like? Yeah, you're gonna do the ambush, but it's not gonna take up that much of the episode, right?
Nah, and these episodes are like 50 minutes long. So
Well, no,
you gotta fill that-
because in the
gotta fill that other
game
time.
they get ambushed and then they gotta run from the tank too, right?
Yeah, and the tank brings I think they meet up with Henry and Sam before then though, because the tank is following them, and Sam and Henry leaves them. Henry and Sam leaves them.
Well, no, they're
Remember?
running from the tank when they first find it, and then they run into the room where Henry and Sam are at.
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go do this thing. Like, if you want to come with us, you can. That way, you can get resources and stuff." And then that's when they got to sneak past. So that maybe the episode could leave off with them, with Henry and Sam leaving them, because if they make it at a certain pace, they can make it where they meet Henry and Sam, and then the episode ends with Henry and Sam leaving them.
Yeah,
and then
they
they're
have to
like,
go
"Oh,
do
what
the
do we
whole
got to
sewer
do?"
thing after that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening, which I wouldn't mind. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for the scene with Henry and Sam.
That scene, man, is heavy.
There's-
Live action. Woo.
There's two scenes that I'm looking forward to at this point. It's that, and then the scene where Ellie asks Joel about Sarah. When that happens, I feel like I'm gonna just straight lose it.
What'd you think about them deviating from the game with this last episode with Bill and Frank? Because
I
it
didn't mind it.
totally different.
I didn't mind it at all. I've seen people say they were a little bummed that they didn't make it like the game. I'm not mad because really all we did was lose one segment of the game. That's it. And I feel like I knew that they were going to keep the bloater thing out because that they're saving that. Yeah, that's something that they're leading up to because that truly is probably the biggest what the fuck moment of the game. When you see that thing for the first time, even Ellie is like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
That
gymnasium. Is that the first time we see it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm definitely bummed that they took the school stuff out because the school stuff is probably the best action part of the game.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I said, the rule of adaptations is as long as the changes work.
It is good storytelling. Yeah.
I've seen people saying someone was like, with the success of Last of Us, do you want a new Uncharted movie with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg? I said, no. No.
Not even comparable.
I mean, get rid of Mark Wahlberg. You keep Tom Holland. I don't care about that. But
like you got to get some different writers, and that has a whole other thing, whole other issues with that. But
that's just if people were saying, oh, they should do Red Dead as a show at HBO, I can see
that. I can see that. I would like that. I think
there are certain games that I want. I want HBO to do something that's sci-fi as a video game. That's what I want because I feel like The Last of Us is such an easy game to do. Realistically, it's just a zombie game with deep characters. Versus doing something like this, Mass Effect. Like, I feel like Mass Effect, would benefit from something like that.
I don't know
Metroid.
much about the story for that. Yeah, Metroid live action series, that could be cool.
There's a lot of video games that I would rather see over some games that have been adapted. Like a Tomb Raider adaptation, I'm not mad about. I wish we'd gotten better.
I feel like that's easy too.
That is easy. That's what I'm saying. Like, give me Metal Gear Solid. Like Metal Gear Solid would be really cool. Because there's a lot to Metal Gear Solid. Yeah.
I'd be down for God of War.
God of War. Well, they're doing a show. I think,
Yeah.
at
Okay.
Amazon.
Oh wow. Okay.
You
So-
guys can start talking about the DC slate. I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So as you guys,
I meant to stop my camera. That's what I meant to do.
so as you guys know, Mr. James Gunn came out today and said that he basically revealed that the DC slate for the DCU, I guess, you know, if we want to change that universe, we gotta swipe a letter you know,
Right. Take
to
out
change
that
it.
letter.
That makes all the difference. One letter. So we got our slates for the DCU. So before we start talking about the individual projects, I just want to gauge how you feel about the announcements as a whole before we dive in.
I think we were due for some announcements from James Gunn because right now DC is in shambles. It is every which way, and we don't know where it's going. And I think this was much needed. Now, as far as the announcement itself, I do personally feel like we should have gotten less announcements with what where we're at right now. Because what was announced was a lot to take in, a whole lot. And I feel like when a lot of things are announced, some things get forgotten about over time. So that's where I'm at right now. But I'm glad that, he's actually communicating with us what's going on and kind of updating us with what's going on here.
So as for my thoughts, I don't want to say I'm underwhelmed because I am happy that we got announcements, but nothing really here had me like, there was one thing, but it has nothing to do with this universe. So, in terms of this universe, I was like, okay, it's a vision, it's a start. There are some things in here that I'm ecstatic about. There are other things where I'm like, okay. But
Same.
let's start with the TV shows because that
All
to
right.
me is less important than the movies. So the first TV show, this isn't in any real order. I'm just going off a post. So the first is Waller. This is a show about Amanda Waller, played by the lovely Viola Davis. This is going to be a show that takes place between seasons 1 and 2 of Peacemaker, and we'll be bringing over characters from Peacemaker, and that's really all we know about it. So my thoughts on this: first of all, Viola Davis is still in the DCEU. Thank everything holy, because that woman carried the DCEU on her back, and she must need back surgery at this point because she's honestly my favorite character in the DCEU that's not a superhero. She's incredible. I love her
I can agree with
in
that.
both Suicide Squad movies and the little bit she was in Peacemaker. I love her so much. And oh yeah, she was in Black Adam for a little bit too. Forgot about that.
I kind of forgot about that too.
As for this show, I feel like it's a mistake calling it an Amanda Waller show because let's be real, we know it's not going to be an Amanda Waller show. We know it's probably going to be like, yeah, she's like leading some crew to do some things or whatever. So them saying, oh, it's an Amanda Waller show, it's like you're making it sound like an origin story. We know it's not going to be that.
Now, is it called Waller? Is
Yeah,
that what it's called?
that's what it says. It's called Waller. So, like,
Okay.
I don't really get why it's labeled as that when we know it's not going to be that. I feel like this show is going to be like they have to get criminals. So it's kind of like The Flash, but like it's going to be like hardcore and good. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of interested in this because they're getting the Peacemaker people back, and I really like those characters. As long as I don't see fucking Judo Master, I'm okay. What are your thoughts on this?
The first thought that crossed my mind when I heard about this show is why. I don't see. Now that you mentioned that Peacemaker characters are coming over, it makes me a little bit more optimistic. But overall, like, why couldn't they do this in the Peacemaker show? Is what I'm thinking.
Well, now that you mentioned that, apparently Peacemaker season 2 is put on hold.
Yeah,
Which
yeah. I mean, I
that
could see that.
breaks my heart entirely
I know you
because
you
I
you love
love
that.
Peacemaker,
I know you
and
love that
I
show.
was my main worry is, are they getting John Cena back? That's my main worry because
I don't think John
even
Cena's going anywhere.
if say what you want about the show, you can't deny he's great as Peacemaker. You know, I love him as Peacemaker, so I
Yeah.
don't want to see him go. You know, but I think this show has potential. Everything that James Gunn has done with the Suicide Squad related, whether it's the Suicide Squad or Peacemaker, has been great. So, you know, I don't think this will be anything less than great or good.
I can see it turning out pretty well, but I don't know if I have that much faith in it.
Mm-hmm. Next show we got is probably the second most interesting thing on here. I don't know. We got Lanterns, which is going to be a TV show featuring Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, and is being labeled as a true detective style show where they basically protect Earth from other beings. And James Gunn said that they're going to have other lanterns in there that they have not revealed yet, obviously. This fucking thing, this thing was announced back when the DCEU was announced in like 2014 or something, when they first announced like, hey, BVS, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman, we're all getting movies. This was one of those movies, and now it's a show. And they were working on it for so long. Then it got shelved when Hamada was still there. And they were like, actually, no, it's not shelved. And they were like, Hal Jordan's not going to be in it. It's just going to be Jon Stewart. Now we find out that it's both of them, and the show is actually moving.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm just glad this thing's fucking moving. Hearing that there's going to be other lanterns, I swear to Lord, if I see the color yellow in this show, those you guys don't
yellow
know.
And red.
You guys don't know. Me and AJ are sick of Sinestro and the Yellow Lanterns because we feel like every Green Lantern thing we watch, they are the villains, and we want to see different things. Yeah. I want to see Atrocitus. That's who I want to see. Give me the Red Lantern. I don't think we'll get Red Lanterns because I feel like that comes after Yellow, but that's
maybe in season 2.
That's what I want to see. Like I want to see that. I want to see other people that are not Sinestro because I feel like there have to be other Green Lantern villains that are not Sinestro. So I'm really hoping that's the case. And
well, since it's a show, and it would be awesome if it was like a week-to-week monster of the week, being of the week type thing, and then it has like an overlying story, and that overlying story is probably going to be Sinestro, but a week by week, catching these beings or whatever it is would be awesome. I would love that.
They said that this show is going to affect the overall story of the DC universe that they're making, which I'm fine with. That's important, is the fact that these shows are going to matter. It's not going to be like the MCU where the shows kind of don't really have a big impact. Like, tell me what impact does Hawkeye have on King's Dynasty? Like
just introducing Kate Bishop. That's really it.
I don't think these shows are going to be like that. I think they're going to be like Peacemaker, where it's, it is impacted by the Suicide Squad, and it's going to follow things, So I'm happy about that. I wonder if they're going to get this guy who was in Justice League to play Jon Stewart, being that he technically did not even get to play him.
Right.
I would really like that. That way he can actually do it. And I hope that Jon Stewart gets most of the shine over Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan is everything. No, those are my thoughts on the Lanterns. Next is Creature Commandos. This is a animated show that is, I forgot what the premise is. It's like the team is like Rick Flag Sr., Bride of Frankenstein, and all these like creatures and shit, and they're like fighting Nazis, I think. That was the premise that I heard. I don't know if this is gonna take place in like World War II times. You know, I don't think it would, but this is an animated show. James Gunn said he wrote everything already. It is already like moving. So they released like one picture of it, and it looks like weird James Gunn shit.
Mm-hmm. How's the animation with it?
I mean, it looks kind of like Harley Quinn. So,
okay,
you know, but it's going to be on HBO Max. And the key with this is animated, but they said that they're going to get actors that are going to play these characters both in live action and in animation. And I think that's great because you can make, let's say hypothetically, you wanted to give, let's say Dick Grayson shows up in the Batman movie that they're making, but they don't have the time to tell his origin story because that movie is about another Robin. You could do like a 30-minute short on HBO Max or something, giving us his origin story and having that same actor play him in that animated thing. And that way it feels like it's the same thing. I feel like that's really cool. So, and I actually hope that they do that.
Do you think that they're going to have the voice actors be the actual actors in the live action?
Yeah, that's what rendition? They said.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. They're trying to get the people to do the live action and the voices.
And the voices, okay.
Which I think is a great idea. Mm-hmm. Do you have any thoughts on this show?
This is probably one of my most anticipated. Now that I know that it is animated, I love the DC animated stuff, and I'm diving into it a lot more recently. But yeah, like the shows and the animated films, I'm down for it. These characters are not your typical DC characters that you hear about all the time, so that intrigues me. I know it intrigues you as well because we feel like we're getting the same things over and over. So I have faith in it, and I'm kind of glad to hear that it's animated.
Next show we got is one I know AJ is excited for. We got Booster Gold is finally being off the ground. I feel like this is another one. It wasn't officially announced, but it felt like they were talking about this for so long, and they're finally going to do Booster Gold. For those who don't know, Booster Gold is a DC superhero of which in the future he's a bum, and he finds future tech and he goes back in time and pretends to be a superhero so that way he can be viewed as cool. The premise sounds exactly like James Gunn, and I think this could be really good. This is going to be a show, which I think is a smart idea. And I'm really looking forward to this. Also, mark my words, Chris Pratt will be Booster Gold.
Okay.
Just like looking at that picture of him, I said, that's Chris Pratt.
Don't put that in the universe, bro.
And James Gunn, James Gunn said that he wanted to work with Chris Pratt.
I know he said he wanted all the Guardians to be in, DC projects, and Chris Pratt is cool. It's not that I hate the man; it's that I'm just kind of like, he's in everything. Come on now, like get somebody new. Get somebody.
Chris Pratt isn't in everything the way he was a long time ago. Like in 2015, 2017 ish, he was in everything.
Yeah, but then we got him and Mario. He's gonna be Garfield. We still have this, Guardians thing. I'm sure he's got other projects, I forgot going. He was
gonna be Garfield.
Yep.
I forgot that movie was even happening.
Yeah, we're seeing this man a lot. And it's not a huge issue. It's just, let's get somebody else in there,
I mean, I definitely want somebody else. I saw that picture and I was like, dude, that looks like Chris Pratt.
If he does be, if he plays that role, I'm not gonna hate it. It's just, I would rather have someone else. Fresh face.
Yeah, how do you feel about them doing Booster Gold as a TV show?
I am pumped. I'm excited. This is a character that I've been wanting to see in live action. I've seen him in like, uh, Justice League TV show and things like that, but I haven't seen I haven't really read the comics. So I am excited to get, an origin story, and that it's a TV show. That's pretty cool. I hope it doesn't drag out its story. um I know some TV shows can do that, but for the most part, I'm excited and I'm looking forward to this one.
All right. And the last TV show we got is Paradise Lost. This is a show that is going to show the formation of Themyscira before Themyscira was a place. This will take place before Wonder Woman was even born. It was being pitched as Game of Thrones with I'm not gonna try to say the home world of Game of Thrones at all.
Westeros.
Yes, that. That's how he was pitching it, and he was like, it's gonna explore like how a place of only women came to be and the consequences of that and how all of that works and the politics. And I was like, okay. That was literally what I put on my story. I said, okay. This is probably the thing I'm least excited for. When I heard that, I was like, that's an idea. Like, it's something different, and I think it could be cool, but like, I just don't really see a point to it. This is the one thing on here where I'm like, what is the point of that? I would take the Wallace show over this because at least the Wallace show is going to have characters I like in it, and it's going to tell a story that's progressing things. This is a prequel, and I don't really see a purpose in that.
I feel about the same about this show as Waller. I feel kind of like, why? And also why in this particular chapter. But now that you mentioned Game of Thrones style, like, I could see that, and that could actually be really cool if it's written and directed well. But once again, I feel like if it's too many episodes, it can be drawn out. It could be kind of boring. I just imagine some of these shows being kind of slow moving and kind of boring. So I really hope that that's not the case, and they have the right writers and directors for this, because that's gonna be what these shows lean on.
Yeah. Peter Hangout, what's going on? I can't highlight the comments because I'm not hosting, but what's going on, Peter Hangout? Yeah, and the key thing that he pitched said that this takes place before the first two Wonder Woman films. I said, so we're not erasing those.
I guess not. I
guess not. If I wanted anything erased, it would be Wonder Woman 84. I don't know. This is a show that it's definitely not going to be on my radar. It's just going to kind of be like, okay. Also,
like
I didn't
a week before the release date, and you'll be like, "Oh, that show's coming out." Okay,
cool. Also, I didn't mention this. This first wave is part of chapter 1 called Gods and Monsters.
Gods and Monsters.
Love it. Love that title. I love it. I do not love
chapters.
Yes, I do not love the animated movie. That movie sucks. I do love the title though. There's an animated
Justice
movie.
League Dark? Or
no, it's just an Elseworlds thing called Gods and Monsters, where Batman is a fucking vampire. Anyway, moving on to the movies. So first thing, this isn't even on here, but I'm going to talk about the thing that actually matters. We got the announcement of The Batman Part 2 coming October 2025.
Yes, sir.
Thank everything holy. We can finally rest our heads knowing that it's coming.
Yep. We got
now,
a release date.
I need announcements. I need villain announcements. I need, plots. I need that. Let's go. But I heard that they're writing it. So take your time, Mr. Reeves. As long as you make that 2025 release date, I ain't complaining. Also, it's coming out in October. Good job.
Yes,
James
sir.
Gunn. All right. Now we're talking about the DC Universe movies that we're getting. The first one, which is the only one that has a release date, I think it's July 2025. I could be wrong about that. We got Superman Legacy. So I think they had said a while ago that the first movie we were gonna get from this universe was a Superman movie, which is fine. I don't really have any feelings towards this because I'm not a hardcore Superman guy. I'm more Batman, clearly, with the next thing I'm gonna talk about. But it's mostly in casting. I think I'll start getting excited or worried when I hear about casting. I want a nobody to play Superman. That's just me. And it also depends on what story we go with this. I don't want them to do Lex Luthor. I want them to maybe do Brainiac or Lobo. I would more prefer Lobo because Lobo is an unknown. Well, not unknown, but he's a low-key villain rather than Brainiac or Lex Luthor or Doomsday. Yeah. Definitely not Doomsday. Fuck that shit. Don't do that now. Jesus Christ.
They tried that.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't really have any feelings towards this. I know James Gunn is writing this. I don't know if he's going to direct it. I hope not, because I don't want James Gunn directing a Superman movie. That's just me.
Yeah. I agree. And the basically the description is Superman Legacy, and it says the movie will focus on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. And I mean, I feel like that's kind of a generic description, but I don't know, like if they dive into Kryptonian culture, I think that could be something that we haven't seen a lot of, because usually when we see Superman, we see, him as a baby, his planet blowing up, and just the typical stuff from Superman. So if we dive into that Kryptonian heritage, and we might get some new stuff from Superman, and that's kind of what I'm longing for, something new and fresh. Because
I don't want to be a dick, but the description you read me literally sounds like Man of Steel beat for beat. Literally.
That's why I said if we get more into the Kryptonian culture, and see what they are, see what they do, that will definitely be more interesting than what we typically get.
Yeah. And if it's true that Momoa is gonna play Lobo, this would be the time to have him show up. But
you think we're gonna get a Lobo movie, like an anti-hero movie?
If Momoa is really playing him, yeah. I don't want that, but yeah.
You don't want that? You would rather him feature in a heroes movie? Okay.
I don't be a villain. Unless there's some magnificent Lobo story that I have no knowledge of, then.
I mean, I don't really know much about Lobo. I know him as a villain. I've seen him in different shows and stuff, but I don't know anything about his origin. So.
The next thing, which is probably the thing I'm the most excited for, The Brave and the Bold. It's not called Batman the Brave and the Bold. It's just called The Brave and the Bold, which I saw the title and I was like, you mean that stupid show that came out 20 years ago or 10 years ago? Yeah. And they were like, no, it's going to be a new Batman, and it's going to feature Damian fucking Wayne as Robin. I said, oh shit, because and I'm gonna feel myself right now, because everyone hates Damian Wayne for no fucking reason. And I feel like I'm the only one on the planet other than John, and apparently James Gunn, who, by the way, James Gunn said Damian Wayne is his favorite Robin. J-
I didn't know James Gunn said that. That's crazy.
James Gunn.
That's wild.
From me to you, bro. From me to you, bro.
So
Straight
is
up.
Damian Wayne your favorite Robin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just, I heard that and I said, "Oh shit!" And apparently, The Brave and the Bold is gonna be like a father-son story about how Batman raises Damian. I'm very ecstatic about this. It's mostly because Damian, not because we're getting another Batman. It's mostly because we're getting Damian Wayne, and I'm like, cool, let's go. I said this on my Instagram. It won't be the most original thing, but if they just took Son of Batman and made it live action, I would not care at all, because that movie is a banger, and that would mean that we get Deathstroke in live action, and I need that in my veins now.
Well, you got Titans.
Well, yeah, I love that, but you know,
part of this universe, though.
If that's the case, get Joe Manganiello on the phone right now and get him back in that costume, bro, because I need that. I'm a little iffy. We're getting another new Batman, you know, and I'm not saying I would have wanted them to bring in Pattinson. You know, obviously I wouldn't have wanted that, but it's just like, I just got used to one. Now I gotta get used to another one again.
I have the same issue.
But how do you feel about The Brave and the Bold overall?
The Brave and the Bold. The fact that we are getting Damian Wayne, I am not as ecstatic as you are about that, but I don't hate it. The only thing for me is I feel like we're skipping steps with this story, because I mean, I don't know if this is going to capture Ra's al Ghul or Talia al Ghul. I think we need to get those characters established before we just dive right into Damian Wayne's character.
The Son of Batman storyline does have them in it. I don't know if you've seen that one. Have you
No,
seen
I haven't
one?
seen it. It's on my list. But I know that these animated, films jump right into it, and live action doesn't translate the same way. So I just don't want them to breeze over something that is so important to Batman's story just to have Damian Wayne as Robin. But Damian Wayne is, I don't hate Damian Wayne as a character. I just don't want them to breeze through anything just to get to that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, as far as the plot goes, I'm interested. I do like that dynamic between Damian and Bruce, because he's probably the most difficult Robin to deal with. So yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's a toss up between the man who actually tried to kill him versus the kid who was trained as an assassin.
Right. That's true.
Take your pick.
But yeah, both of them are difficult. But as Robin, Damian is probably the most difficult, and it would be interesting to see that in live action. Now who they get to play Batman, that is going to be an interesting choice as well, because we just came off of Affleck, and then now we have Pattinson, and they're going to be going basically at the same time. So it's just like, why?
And then
mind-boggling.
Marquise said cast Jensen Ackles as Batman. How do you feel about that?
You know, I like Jensen Ackles a lot, but as Batman live action, I don't see it.
Listen,
he seems like a CW. He seems like a CW Batman rather than a live action, cinematic Batman.
Listen, I know it won't happen. My dream casting for Batman was always John Hamm. That's me. You watch the ending of Baby Driver where he's going crazy. I'm like, that is Batman, bro. Like I those scenes made me feel like, bro, that's Batman. That was always my dream casting. I said it before. I've put shit in the universe on Nerd Talk, and it's happened. If I hear an announcement that John Hamm is Batman.
You're gonna do a backflip, bro.
Yes, bro.
You're gonna do a legit backflip.
Literally, because I need that. That's my dream. I don't think it will happen, but that is the only person that I have in mind. I don't know who get. Normally, when we're like, "Oh yeah, this person should play Batman," they pick the total most opposite person to play Batman. Like, did anyone in this realm think, "Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson would be Batman"? No. You know,
Edward Cullen. No.
Yeah, bro. So, personally, I just hope that they get a lot of no names for the DC stuff, including Batman. I do think they might have to get an older actor to play Batman because this storyline happens at a point where Batman's a lot older. And something that someone said that's interesting is, oh, this isn't going to be an origin story. He's going to be established and Batman already. Which
he has to be.
Which I think is fresh because I feel like all we've been getting is origin stuff for Batman. BVS, he was, experienced that felt fresh, but
that wasn't a Batman movie. Like, it was a partner movie, basically. So, I mean, I get where you're saying. I get where you're coming from. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be a risk. But I can see it working.
There's a lot riding on this because if they do, we know we're gonna have Talia in this. If they do, they need to nail the castings of Batman, Damian, and Talia, and they need to make sure that all three have chemistry because that storyline rides on all three of them. And if Ra's al Ghul is gonna be in this movie, that's another casting you need to add to nail. And I hope Ra's al Ghul is in this movie because it'd be cool to see the fantastical Ra's al Ghul in live action DC. I think that'd be really cool, especially if you played Arkham City. Ra's al Ghul in that game is awesome. So I'm very excited for this.
With this movie, you said that it's already established, and we're obviously going to get Damian Wayne. So that means that we already have Barbara as Batgirl, and it means we already have. I mean, as far as Batman's story, we do, and by that time we also have Dick Grayson as Nightwing.
Dick Grayson, Dick Grayson is Nightwing in that storyline. I don't know about Barbara though, because she's not in that story. It's only Dick, so I'm assuming it'd be Dick and then Red Hood maybe, but I don't know. I definitely know Dick Grayson is Nightwing in that storyline though. So I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know with this, but this is definitely the movie I'm the most excited to see. That's for sure. The next movie is Swamp Thing, which is going to be a horror movie. This is probably the thing I'm most intrigued by in terms of the movies. Hearing that Swamp Thing is going to be a horror movie, Pure Hangout said it. I think that's great. I think that's a great idea. From what I know, Swamp Thing is a very tragic character in the DC universe, and if they lean into that horror stuff, I think that could be really good. And for those who don't know, Wes Craven directed a live action version of this character back in the 90s.
I guess I didn't realize that.
Well, you didn't realize it because it's terrible, but that is the real thing though. He directed a movie based off this character in the 90s.
Yeah, I am kind of opposite you on this one. I am not looking forward to Swamp Thing. I know that there is a TV show that was made like
last year.
Was it last year?
Oh no, 2019.
Sorry. 2019. Yeah, it was 2019. And it was either part of DC Universe or was it on CW?
It was the CW. Well, it was like both, but it like I'm seeing the posters. It's labeled as CW. So
so it was like Stargirl, where it was like a hybrid of DC Universe and CW, and heard it kind of flopped, and I don't know if I'm quite excited for it. Now,
no, I heard it was good, but they canceled it.
It was good?
Yeah, like it has like a 7.4 on IMDb.
I literally heard nobody talking about that show.
Yeah, I
All
heard
right.
it's pretty good. It's just that they canceled it before it even like got started for some
Hmm.
reason. And the guy who plays Swamp Thing played Jason in the remake of Friday the 13th.
Interesting. Um, I don't know. It's just not a character that is on my radar. But if I see like a trailer and it looks awesome, I'll check it out. I'm probably gonna check it out no matter what. But it's part of this universe. But I don't know.
I feel like Swamp Thing could be really cool. I just like that it's horror.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that
I
we're
hope
getting
it's
different
good.
stuff. Right, I like that we're getting different stuff, and
Mhm.
horror stuff. The next thing we're getting is, I gotta say in Eric Cartman voice, the authority. The authority. This is something I'm interested in. Also, this is um a show. Oh no, this is a movie where it's like the pitch is these group of superheroes that they're protecting the world, but they go about it any means necessary, and they have like different beliefs and stuff. So my idea when I hear this is Watchmen or The Boys.
Mhm.
Those were my two go-to things. I even asked Johnny, he was like, I don't fucking know. I was like, that's what it sounds like. um I don't really have much to say about this other than what was pitched. Like, it sounds cool. I'm surprised this is a movie and not a show.
Yeah,
When I
it
heard that
sounds
this
like a
was
show.
a movie, I was like, okay. And someone
Mhm.
even said like, oh, it kind of sounds like Eternals. I was like,
A little bit,
yes and no.
a tiny bit.
But how do you feel about this?
Um, I actually didn't really know much about this until you just told me. And it sounds like something that I am not going to really be looking forward to until it comes out. Because I don't know much about it, and it's just not something that like catches my ear much. Because we do have The Boys and we do have these other shows and stuff like that, Watchmen and stuff like that. So until I actually see footage, I'm it's whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to the last
Movie.
movie we got is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So this is going to be based on a recent that's what James Gunn said. It's like a recent story that was made, and he said, oh, all right, I'm gonna turn this into a movie. It's basically a different version of Supergirl where I don't think she goes to Earth right away.
Hmm.
She well, the original story of Supergirl is like, I know someone will probably correct me. Like that she gets sent to Earth, but like I think her pod gets hit or something, and she's like floating adrift in space, and
Hmm.
then she gets
She
picked up.
well, she ends up on another side of the earth or another place than Clark or
Uh,
Kal-El.
so this version is that she's raised on a part of Krypton that's, I guess, still functioning and breathing, and her whole life she watches everyone she loves die and get murdered, and then she goes to Earth, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that sounds like a tormented soul.
And
Sounds wild.
I like the character of Supergirl. I don't love the show, but I like the character, and I like her in Injustice. I love her in Batman Superman Apocalypse. That is my favorite version of her. She's awesome in that movie. Um I love the badass ass kicking Supergirl. I don't like the cheesy, like, just, oh, she's female Superman. I don't like that version.
Gave Dark Side a run for his money.
Yeah. Um so that's what I want to see. I don't know if the girl that's playing Supergirl in the Flash is going to play her. I've seen a
There's
lot of people.
no way. There's no way. Or that we're getting Supergirl from CW?
No. The girl, the
Oh,
movie.
from the movie Flash. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
I wish, because I like her a lot as Supergirl.
She's not gonna be that Supergirl that you described, though.
She could be. I don't know. I really like her as Supergirl though. She was definitely never the problem with me me not liking that show.
Okay.
But I'm interested in this. How you feel about this?
I'm excited. I like Supergirl as a character. Not every rendition is great, but I enjoy the Superman or Batman Superman Apocalypse Supergirl. That's the version that I want. And or something reminiscent of that. So I'm looking forward to this one. I can't say that I'm fully pumped or excited, but I am looking forward to it. And I want to see who they cast as Supergirl if they, do a recast. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
That is the entire slate of everything we had gotten announced.
Chapter 1.
So now that we talked about that, I kind of want to talk about like looking at these as overall, like seeing everything we got. Are you excited? Like, does this seem like this is gonna function well as a universe when it all
Some of
lines
these some of these projects I feel like are happening a little early and shouldn't quite be in chapter 1, but for the most part I feel like this could be a functioning saga or chapter, whatever you want to call it. But am I excited for it? I have to see some things before I get truly excited, but it does give me some hope for this universe. It does. These announcements here. What about you?
Yeah, I'm about the same. I can't say I'm overly ecstatic for a lot of these. Some of these I am, but I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Now, how my thing is how we're gonna go about the last of the DCEU.
Yeah.
Apparently the Flash is going to reset everything. That is the movie that is going to reset the universe, and then Blue Beetle is going to be the first, I guess, unofficial movie in this new universe because it's still part of the DCEU, but like it's going to be Blue Beetle, Aquaman, and then I think Superman. I think that's how it goes. But it's just it's really confusing because it's like, so what are we doing with Aquaman? And apparently they announced they announced that there's going to be a third Aquaman movie. I was like, what?
Now, what I saw, they said that Momoa always envisioned
My bad,
trilogy.
guys. I'm dealing with some stuff right now, some personal stuff. I know you guys are wrapping it up.
Yeah, we're just talking about the overall, like how we feel about the overall slate and how it will flow and connect, and will it work for the DC?
Yeah, I'll give my quick thoughts. Like I said, I'm fine with the slate. Like I said, as long as James Gunn, pick the right directors, right writers for each project, we should be fine. I have no problem with. I was talking to my little brother. He was talking about the ensemble things, and that's the one thing I'm not worried about because James Gunn's really good with ensembles and unknown projects and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. At this point, for it to come to DC, we should all just be like this at this point. Just hope for the best. So
it shouldn't be like that, but that's how it is. Really. See how it goes.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, though.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about how you felt about the overall slate and how it was going to flow.
It's just it looks cohesive and it looks like it's gonna flow. My real interest is how it's gonna flow from the movies to the TV because he said that the TV and the movies they're gonna be tight and they're gonna be together. So I'm curious as to how they're gonna do that and how they're gonna make this overlurking storyline from the movies and the TV flow between those. Like I'm curious as to how the Green Lantern show is gonna affect some movie that comes later. Like I'm curious as to how they do that. That intrigues me.
Maybe the overlying villain shows up in a, film or something like that. I feel like that's kind of what it's aiming towards, what they're aiming towards, how the direction is going.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously I've been going this whole time. You guys been talking about it. Hopefully you guys had a good conversation. I see everybody in the chat comment and stuff. My brother, I knew he was gonna say it. My little brother is Marquise T. That's my little brother. He was talking really he said he would want Jensen Ackles as Batman.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he voiced Batman already.
Yeah, he voiced Batman in the
universe. Yeah, he was Batman in Long Halloween. Yeah,
1 and 2.
So yeah. If you guys got any more thoughts on the DC slate, it's crazy how they revealed it today. Todd was like, man, god damn, they had to reveal this shit today too. Like, god damn.
Last day of January. They said something was coming in January.
Yeah, so it's cool. I'm excited for Batman Part 2 for sure. We'll see what the Flash is gonna give us. We'll see how these Elseworld things are gonna go. That's what I think DC need to do Elseworld things. You let Marvel do the connected stuff, you guys do Elseworld. So yeah. Might as well move on to the last topic while I'm here. And of course, that's the Blu-ray collection update. I don't know if you guys got anything else you guys want to show. I did my Blu-ray haul for January, so I'm not going to show anything. So I'm gonna let Tyler take it away.
So I'm gonna start with video games because that to me is more important. So first of all, I got this beautiful purple controller for the PS5. $75 later, but I did. Actual video games. First thing I got is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is the trilogy remastered. I bought this because it was cheap at GameStop. It was like $15 brand new. So I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and pick this up. Apparently I missed out. It was free for PlayStation Plus in 1 month, and I just didn't get it. And people were like, why did you pay for that? It was free. I was like, I didn't get it. But I'm looking forward to actually finishing these. I've played some of it so far, and I really like it. I've never played the Mass Effect games at all. Heard Andromeda sucks. Next, my little brother gave this to me because he finished it. Sonic Frontiers. I took it because it has a PS5 upgrade. I have not started this yet. I just have not had time. Next, we got a couple sports games. First, we got the PGA Tour 23. I don't follow golf and don't play it religiously, but this game is fun. I had the 21 version and I really liked it, so I went ahead and picked this up. And the last thing I got is MLB The Show 22. I do love baseball, follow it religiously, and this is my comfort gaming without a doubt. If I ever want to just play something and just be calm, listen to music, and get in my head, this is what I will play. Now, on to actual Blu-rays. I didn't get a lot, to be honest with you. First, we got Moonlight. This was like $6 at Best Buy. And it has a slip. I really like this slip. And I haven't seen it yet. I thought it'd be worth checking out for $6. Not going to complain. Had a slip. Next is something that I've wanted for so long, and I finally saw it. And I'm happy that I did. I Know What You Did Last Summer on 4K. I wanted this when it came out, and my store just never put it on the shelf, and now it did, and I have it now. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't love it. It's a very cheesy movie, but I like it. Next, we got the Friday the 13th Part 4 Steelbook. I got this because I have the other 3. I'm hoping that Paramount keeps doing these, at least until Jason lives. After that, they can stop doing them, and I wouldn't care. And the last thing I got is this behemoth of a Criterion, WALL-E. I had my eyes on this for a little while, and I just said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get it. I love this set. I think this set is really cool. They put a lot of detail into this set. I really like it a lot. I have not watched WALL-E since I was a kid, but I'm excited to revisit it. And it's the first Disney Criterion. That's kind of wild to me. But yeah, that's everything I picked up for the month. Alex.
Yo, if you know, you might not know, but I have taken a vow to not purchase any physical media in 2023, as far as out of my own pockets. But I do have a
And you
few gift
lied.
cards. I didn't lie yet. We still in January, and
You bought some physical media.
yeah, but I had a
You
gift
lied.
card. I have a gift card from Christmas. So I picked up this film. I watched it earlier in the month, and I really enjoyed it. When I watched it for the first time, I was like, it was cool. It was whatever. And then like a week went by, and I was still thinking about it. So I was like, let me just pick that up. I was in Best Buy, and I saw it. It was on sale, and yeah, I picked up Fall. I like this movie. And
You ever saw Frozen?
yes, I have it. I
Yeah,
have
it's
it
kind
on.
it's kind of like
It's
the
kind of like
same
that. Yeah,
type of gift.
it's very similar. But yeah, I don't know. This one it did something else to me. I don't know.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of heights. So
I was on the edge of my seat the entire movie.
oh, that's the only one you have?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna show any physical media because I did my January haul. So if you guys want to know what I picked up all in the month of January, that video will be uploaded tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know what time it'll be uploaded. I actually recorded it on my other phone, so I probably won't upload it till I get back home. Because if you guys have enjoyed this stream, shout out to everybody that's been in the chat. We've been like 10 people strong, 10, 12 people strong today, which is awesome. Shout out to everybody that's been in the chat all day, you know, talking to us, chatting with us. I'm gonna let these guys close out, you know, where you can find them and what's been going on their channels and stuff. Start with AJ. Let everybody know where they can find you and what's going on your channel.
Thank you for having me on Nerd Talk once again. It is always a blast. I am AJ of AJ Reacts 2, and I have some reactions coming out, some movie reactions. I'm gonna do Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and I am starting the Rocky series. So that's gonna be, I'm gonna do each film, react to each film, and that's going to be interesting, hopefully fun. I've never seen them, so let's hope for the best with that. And I have some movie reviews and TV reviews coming out on my Instagram soon as well. So February is supposed to be a stacked month for me. I got a lot of things planned, so stay tuned.
Awesome. Mind of a nerd.
Yeah, I know where to find me, man. Instagram, mainly Instagram at this point. My M. Night Shyamalan review series is coming to a close this weekend. This weekend. Tomorrow I will post my review for Split, and I think Thursday will be Glass, leading up to Knock at the Cabin, which comes out this Friday. I will be seeing it Saturday. Review will be dropping on Sunday. I'm also still reviewing The Last of Us. I dropped my review for episode 3 yesterday. Go check that out. And basically my entire M. Night Shyamalan review series. And after M. Night Shyamalan is done, we'll be starting the Rocky review series leading up to Creed 3 in March, which I'm very, very excited for. So yeah, Mind of a Nerd on Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, go check these guys out. They have great content on all the platforms that they, you know, put their stuff on. If you guys are new to my channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. More Blu-ray hunt videos, more live streams, more watch-alongs, trailer reactions, reviews will be coming as well. Like I said, my next the next 2 franchises I'll be reviewing is Mission Impossible and Transformers. I will be going through all the movies, reviewing all the movies leading up to the movies that's coming out. We got Mission Impossible 7 and obviously Transformers Rise of the Beast. So I'm gonna try to push through these movies because I know 6 Mission Impossible movies and it's basically 6 Transformers movies. So it's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna try to get through. I'm gonna try to keep a consistency with the reviews because that's how I did with Harry Potter. and I ended up not even finishing Harry Potter because I didn't review Crimes of Grindelwald, which you guys know the reason why I didn't review Crimes of Grindelwald. But yeah, so if you guys are excited for that, next day, please hit that like button, please subscribe for more. And we are on this one, you guys. Peace out.